Amazing. Rocky, want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Sunset shield days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's crowd. And yet somehow that way is fake, with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be a free days of you and me. I'm
sailing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzle in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Direwolf's back and so are you. Oh yeah. Belvedere flying so the moon. Oh yeah. And everyone's singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wunderkind, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up to
Epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic.
Jonas is back. Had to bring him back in the groove. Jonas is back. He's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back. Yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back. He's back. Oh, let him shine. Little baby born on the brownstone steps. Harlem hit him with the right kind of death. No matter in the world where he goes away, can't take the soul out of his sway. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Pipes made for radio, pro show will do. Breaking down the Hollywoods, break it down anew. Not a single day does our very own forget. Hudson River flow is where his path was set. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Morgan Freeman was born in Memphis. Diana from Detroit. But hey, looking up from Manhattan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the
Hello.
WDW Pro Show with me and Carol Brown and Marv. Y'all, welcome. We're getting started a little late today, as you might have seen in the chat. We were supposed to start at 2:30 a.m. according to the boss man. Oh, we did forget.
AM.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was definitely not around then.
Yeah, but
I was.
But some people
I
were.
don't sleep. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Kenneth LaRoque for $5 Canadian was a mistake made here. Well,
yes, it was.
I'm hosting the show, so here we go.
What would we talk about at 2 a.m. in the morning?
If it was 3 a.m., there's a lot of memes in the Gen Z and Gen Alpha culture that seem to center around 3 a.m. But I don't know. I really don't know what we talk about at 2:30. Everything would either be very funny or very not funny. That's what I found at 2:30 in the morning. So I do have a filter with my wife and kids to say, you have asked me an important question after midnight. You should not expect a civil and well thought out answer. So, Pro will blame Jonas. Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
12 more hours, chat. Let's prepare for the real show. Yes.
Were these people like at 2:30 a.m.? Like,
yeah, this was at 2:53 a.m. that Kenneth LaRoque sent this in. Yep. Here's 8:35. Some of us need to sleep. That's thank you very much, McGee. I'm gonna get blamed for this. Yeah, I got a few texts about it. I woke up and the feed is still waiting. Of course, you'll be blamed, Jonas Campbell. This should be interesting. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today before Pro gets here. And I do hear the great Ron Coleman will be joining us later today. But first of all, thank you to the very early super chats here, Kenneth LaRoque specifically, who also gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you.
For documenting this wonderful moment monetarily with our little mistake. So who knows if the notifications went out? They might have gone out at 2 a.m. Eastern time. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Juliet here for €5. Afternoon WDW Pro panel and Pro writes, like coffee, subscribe lemons, and share watermelons.
I think we're supposed to like drink.
Oh yeah. Sorry. What are you drinking today? In that amber-colored liquid in a stein there.
I have more Gamer Sups. That's what I'm drinking because I ran out of coffee. So.
Oh, what is Gamer Sups?
It's like it's basically like caffeine powder, flavored powder that you can put into your water. So like my favorite one that they had for a while was Emotional Damage from the streamer.
Emotional Damage. That
one. Yeah, that was like my favorite, but I don't know if they put it back up on the shop or not. I will say that it's definitely like they have fun advertisements because it definitely kind of leans into like the Gooner side of things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's as much as I will say on the show, but they are quite delicious. I'm not sponsored, and if I was, I would love to be.
Yeah. Marv, what do you have in your gigantic Donkey Kong Country mug?
Coffee.
I'm a little jealous because by the time I got to Epic Universe, they were only doing the small mugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
nope.
And
the
I've
Donkey Kong size mugs are gone.
I've got another one of these sodas that I get mocked for that are not full of chemicals. So it's a Zevia. It's cola flavored, but it has no artificial colors in it.
It's cola flavored, but it's not cola.
Yeah, Zevia is one of the few ones that do cola and do the flavor correctly. A lot of those apple cider vinegar sodas are just nasty. The cola flavors. Sorry. So
the three of us are all gonna be together in the same place at the same time this week.
I do believe so. I'm very
with
much
awkward eye contact.
Yeah.
The more awkward, the better.
Yes.
Yeah. We can do a few staring contests if we want. You know.
I won't win. I'll get distracted.
House. All of a sudden, somebody will call out at the dinner table, "Staring contest," and you just got to go with it. You know, it's part of your upbringing around here, letting those eyeballs dry out. Let's do the sip and click. That's a thing that Pro wants us to do. So 3, 2, 1. There, I
Yeah.
clinked the side of my Coke bottle there.
Okay, there we go.
Right. Oh, delicious. And the like button feels extra robust today.
It does, yeah.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Packing protons for $5 American. Odyssey prediction 300 million 3-day. If woke 600 million total. That's actually one of the first things we're going to talk about today. So protons, I wonder if you'll be correct. I try not to make predictions myself, but I think I might be forced to today. Mark Fields for 5. I hope you all never tire of it. Positive vibes to you all and have a beautiful day. Godzilla 0.0 for my film of the year. Is it 0 minus 0?
0.0.
Oh, it's
Is
just
it-
0.
It's so wait, the other one was Godzilla -1 and it's Godzilla -0 now.
Yeah, it's Godzilla -0.
And wasn't there a Resident Evil 0 as well? They really like the zeros.
They
in
like
Japanese
0,
culture.
yeah. They're like, we don't want to say prequel, so we'll just say 0.
Yeah,
love
I
it.
can't wait for this Odyssey conversation because I have got a take for you guys.
I love your takes, Marv.
Look at him. He's all ready. He's got like his I want to talk about face. He's like
I've been talking
slightly,
about this movie all week, so I feel like I am like an expert on it at this point.
he's slightly dead inside. You can see it.
Oh no, I'm like this vapid, this vapid, atrocious cast and crew.
My husband and I spent 7 hours over the weekend watching all the previous film adaptations to see how, to have like a comparison. It was quite the sacrifice of my husband. He actually thoroughly enjoyed it, especially when we got to the Wishbone adaptation of
The best adaptation
the
ever.
Wishbone?
Best. Yes, Wishbone did an adaptation
What's
of
the
the Odyssey. It was amazing.
It was the first Wishbone I've ever seen because I really loved the Odyssey when I was a kid, and Wishbone doing it. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this Wishbone show, and I'm like, oh, this is adorable. It's a Jack Russell Terrier as Odysseus.
Well, what's so funny is like, so that started because when I was talking to my husband, I was like, we've seen every edition or every adaptation except for the one that's most important, which is the Wishbone one. And he's like, I've never heard of that before. I was like, oh no, babe, it's the Wishbone show. And he was like, and he just like gave me like this look, like Marv's
Heard of Wishbone?
He had not heard of Wishbone, right? And so I was like, no, babe, this is like totally your show because you like literature and you like dogs. And he was like, never heard of it, right? I had to pull it up on my phone and show it to him.
I would love for them to re-release Wishbone because I think the way that most people discover Wishbone back in the day was flipping through channels and then all of a sudden, why is there a dog dressed as Robin Hood?
Shooting a bow, yeah.
Shooting a bow.
Yeah. And
Well,
speaking.
And what I thought was really cool is that in that particular episode of Wishbone, it got all the way to like, let's talk about Homer. It's like, we don't know what Homer looks like, but this is probably what he sounded like. It was like totally like, I was like really into it. I was like, wow, yeah.
He probably sounded like a dog.
I think that my favorite part was when Wishbone said that if Homer were here today, he would ask Homer how he thinks about all these dogs and all the screen time that they're getting in this.
That did not happen in the episode. Do not project like that, sir.
Because of how little time he spent with Jack Russell Terriers.
Listen. Wishbone is a good boy. Don't you put that on him. Don't you put
He
that
is
on
the goodest of boys.
Everybody
Though Jack
loves
Russell Terrier is
Wishbone.
typically not the goodest of boys.
They're very energetic. Multiple times I've been to the vet with my dog, and if there's a Jack Russell Terrier, that thing is spazzing out. I mean, like lots of energy. I imagine
always-
a lot of fun, but not when you need it to sit still.
Since I was a kid, I've wanted a Jack Russell Terrier, and I'm always told by whoever the person in my life is, we cannot get a Jack Russell Terrier. They will destroy the house. And I'm like, but I can dress him up in these little outfits, and we can have literary adventures.
But you know who can have? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to derail again. Sorry.
You know who can have literary adventures? The Wild Man of Yavin, who gifted
Yes.
5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you much, Wild Man of Yavin. Wait. There's a button I'm supposed to push. I think it's going to do the thing.
Yeah. He's got
Hold
like
on.
his own thing.
Oh, see, it did the thing. Nope. Now we're in the wrong. There we are. But now I've got to find the other button here. I think they're alphabetical. There it is.
It was a peaceful planet until he arrived. Then he brought wild to our skies.
Thank you very much, Wild Man of Yavin. Then Texas 84 also gifts 5 WDW memberships. Here's the thing. I can't say it any better than this.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro channel, thank you.
Thank you, Texas. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle with $2 Super Chat says, good day all, and also gifts 5 WDW Pro memberships. It's amazing. I really appreciate it, Flying Blind.
I'm 7 steps off, 7 steps ahead.
Thank you very much. Let's see here. Juliet, member for 22 months. That's amazing. It's pounds, not euros. Did I say euros? I'm sorry. You guys are just too close to the European Union. If you could work on that. And it said 7:30 a.m. Yes, it did for you. I'm sure. Well, now I know exactly how many hours ahead you are over there. So, Juliet, thank you very much for the notification this morning, as well as Tom F., moderator in chief. Kalioth for $2. Caro, 8 seconds was too long for Supergirl's exposure.
Was it?
There's a story going around of the woman who covered The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, and she works in a call center still. Like, she's not making that much money off of Supergirl right now, or if she has, it hasn't come through yet. So her doing this random cover while she's going to Middle Tennessee State University in their music program or whatever, and somebody says, hey, let's throw some violins on this, and they try out 45 different songs for that needle drop at the end of Supergirl, and somehow they end up saying, hey, what if we just use this very slow alt sounding cover of The Middle by Jimmy Eat World? And now I guess she's got something to talk about at the call center.
You know, as somebody who worked in a call center, there's nothing that we want to talk about there. We just want to leave.
Yeah, because you have to talk professionally.
Oh, yeah, you do. But then it's also like you're in a call center with like other people who are like verbally getting chewed out on the phone all the time. Like that was like my biggest takeaway from working in a call center, is that when people come in there, they're unhappy. Like they don't care about you. They just want to start yelling at somebody because they're just upset about what's going on. And I think I only had this was when I was at a bank, so people are extra emotional because it's their money, right? And I think I only had 2 times where there was somebody on the phone being like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad about what's going on. And I was like, I understand. Let me look into that and see if I can fix that for you. Can I put you on hold for 2 minutes? It's just always stuff like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I always try to be that person. Like, 'cause I try to remember that it's not their fault, but then the second I get even the slightest bit of attitude, it becomes their fault.
Yeah. Those are difficult ones. When you someone told me one time when I complained about a customer service situation, it wasn't really a customer service situation. I told them what was wrong with the system, and I said, I know you can do nothing about this. And dude looks me dead in the eye and says, that's the nicest crash out I've seen today. Like, what did you just call me a person who is crashing out because I was nice to you?
Yep. Give these people an inch, Jonas. They'll take a mile.
Exactly. Miravita for $5. The notifications absolutely went out at 1 a.m. for me, but after the last one where I sat and chat for no reason, I knew better and went to bed. I'm sorry, Miravita. Let's blame Pro. I think that's the best system here. And Caffeinated Wolf.
Could we blame Lorne?
I think
that's
an
option.
That's a safe option because he won't really fight it.
And he's not here. That makes it easier.
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
We can distract him with chickens, right?
Fried chicken and catfish.
I don't like fish.
Caffeinated Wolf says, I heard Godzilla. Let me see if I can do this. Anyways, I don't know where that came from.
What?
Kira creates. I'm ready for the new Godzilla. Yeah.
I'm ready for the old Godzilla.
I'm just ready for Godzilla.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to let go and let Godzilla. Captain Nemo gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank
Captain
you.
Nemo, thank you very much. I really, really loved you in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And thank you for being the gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for $2. May the magical tuft be with you. and with you. Thank you very much, Flying Blind. And Ninja Pat for $10. Get a mini dachshund if you want a calm dog. Got a snoodle puppy named Gizmo to help with my older dog Gracie with Hershey passing at the end of May, or this dog passing at the end of May. Gizmo is a chewer.
See,
well,
that's
I love
why-
that you love your dogs.
Well, that's why you need, like, my dog is just losing his teeth, so he's not a chewer.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua.
Yeah. See, I have a Cavapoodle, or a Cavapoo for short, which he's very cute. He's very sweet, and he just runs around the house waiting for someone to sit down so that he can get in your lap. It's a very,
no, he's very much a lap dog. He's not and he's not like yippy or yappy like most Chihuahuas are, and he's not mean at all. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He has no predatory instinct whatsoever. Like a squirrel could walk right by him and he'd just be like, "Oh, hello." And that's also why he doesn't play with toys, because toy playing is like a predatory instinct, and he just doesn't have them.
Yeah, my dog does not like toys. He does not like peanut butter. For some reason, he loves broccoli. It's very strange. So, and Caro's dog could eat both of our dogs and still have room for more in his belly. Or her. I don't know. Is your dog a boy or a girl?
3 of them. I have 3 German Shepherds. 2 are girls and 1 is a boy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got the big story today, and that is Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. There's a lot of debate going on. I've seen Film Threat has got their out of the theater reaction. We're probably
I was
gonna
so happy. I like texted Caro this morning too, and I was like, "Film Threat hated it."
Fair, like, first thing, not good morning, not how are you. It was like Film Threat hates it, and I was like, "Good morning, how are you? Are you having a good day?"
Wizard got that text too, but to Wizard it was in all caps.
This is very difficult. I gotta find. There are so many extra buttons. Here we go. There's one button that I gotta press, and then finally, here's the big button. Let's go to our first story. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is coming into theaters soon. It's the next development in the Odyssey cinematic universe. Oh, wait, they're not doing that. This is just another Christopher Nolan movie. But there's been a lot of debate over the last few months about whether or not this movie is going to hit big or flop, like so many dramatic rethemings of classic stories have been over the last few years. Nolan doesn't have a fantastic track record over the last few years like he used to be before, let's say, 2020. Films like Tenet might make him seem a little bit more permeable than he used to. But now, out of AOL and Slash Film, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey will have a bigger box office opening than Oppenheimer. And Oppenheimer, well, that was a big darn deal.
Yep.
that was an exasperated breath.
No, that's a I'm ready to attack this, but I'm letting you finish.
Yep. Let's read their opening ship of thesis here from Ryan Scott of Slash Film on AOL.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Christopher Nolan is truly in a class of his own. Nolan's name alone does more to move the needle than almost any piece of IP could.
Is this written by Christopher Nolan by any chance, this article? Because it sounds a lot like things that he says.
Yeah, he doesn't get on the internet from what I hear. He's above us all.
Right? He doesn't have a smartphone because he's so enlightened and unlike us. But then if he goes to a restaurant and they have a QR code menu, he's stuck.
Well, he's stuck unless he has a production assistant there with his printed out emails in a folder, right?
Yes.
He's one of the highest grossing directors ever at the box office, and he's once again going to prove his worth with his big budget adaptation of The Odyssey.
Challenge.
Yeah. It's a massive epic that in the hands of any other filmmaker would be a ridiculous gamble. Why? Actually, I kind of disagree with that. The Odyssey is a classic story that's pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wishbone did it, and he's a dog.
That's right. It's a massive epic that
He's
I
a
read that.
dog. He doesn't have a soul.
In Nolan's hands, it's poised to deliver one of the biggest opening weekends of 2026.
One of the highest grossing directors ever at the box office. I challenge that.
I guess we have to look at like individual directors.
I guess the Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises both made a lot of money.
Right.
Oppenheimer.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fine. Withdrawn.
And are we counting producer credits here? Because if we go for producer credits, I think Kathleen Kennedy technically wins everything because of her associations with Spielberg.
She was really good at standing in the room.
Yeah.
She stood very well. She had, her shoulders were back, and she like did the that thing. Yeah.
There are women who are in both Avatar and the Marvel universe here. All it would take for her being in Star Wars, and she could say she's part of all of the biggest franchises of all time. It's just, I would say it's more important when you're a director, though. Continuing the relationship that began with Oppenheimer in 2023, Nolan is once again teaming up with Universal Pictures for the release. Based on the early numbers, it looks like it will remain a fruitful partnership. The Odyssey is projected to open between 98 and 132 million when it arrives next week, per Box Office Theory. I generally speaking, I trust Box Office Theory's numbers. Sean Robbins is actually pretty solid in all of this.
Yep, their 3-day pinpoint is 118, and they're doing a domestic total pinpoint of 430.
Mm-hmm. Earlier estimates were slightly more conservative. What conservative? Ranging from 80 to 100 million per deadline.
There's nothing conservative about this movie.
The needle is pointing up as the release date creeps up, or maybe Box Office Theory is just coming in to update Anthony D'Alessandro's numbers. So in the notes for this, here we have the Odyssey's opening weekend box office according to Crypto Slate, which I do believe is one of those markets where you're allowed to gamble on random things, like whether or not certain words will be used in political speeches. Or I think Polymarket has one on whether or not Jesus comes by 2027. This one says the Odyssey's opening weekend box office. It looks like 31% of people have this above 115 million. So I'm going to say that's confidence from the market there. Actually, I guess we have 23, 28, and 31. So we're near 70% that think it's going to open above 100 million.
And it very well might. I mean, what I'm seeing when I'm looking at theaters, and I've looked at quite a few theaters so far with this movie, I'm seeing something that I think a lot of people are overlooking.
What's that?
So, how everyone's like, all of the IMAX showings are sold out. Yeah, sure, a lot of them, many of them are. Many of them aren't, but there are still a lot of people in them. Guess what's not sold out, Jonas? The regular theaters. The regular showings. You need more than just the theater's one IMAX theater to actually have a successful box office. And when I look at the non-IMAX showings for this movie, it's like opening night, like 4 tickets sold, 8 tickets sold.
Why is it? Do you think that is? Is this actually, Caro? Why don't you answer Marv's supposition here? I'd rather have your opinion on this one. If you are interested in this film, please tell me why. But if not, what is it that is failing with regular audiences here? We get movies like Troy that are still talked about today on some level, and then we have Christopher Nolan's Odyssey that, as far as the online discourse is going, and we all know that online isn't necessarily real life, this movie has so many red flags on it, but normie audiences don't necessarily listen to online discourse. What do you think is driving audience sentiment on this?
I'm going to say that we don't really talk about it in school as well as we used to, because I know there's a couple of schools that are kind of, I think it's like, I don't know. It's like a handful of them that were priding themselves on getting rid of the Odyssey from the curriculum because it was like full of like masculine, bad messaging and all of that. It was It was very strange. And then there was also people who were taking. I think there was one time when Amazon tried to take the Odyssey off of their store, and that happened. Same thing with Orwell's 1984, where they tried to mess with it and all of that. And these are also services, much like some online services, that they'll take your stuff away from you and not reimburse you for it. So there was and it's in their TOS and everything. But when I used to teach and I used to work with students and the Odyssey would come up, they would always be very confused about what it was that they were supposed to be reading or understanding. And some of that actually has to do with an article that I had submitted to Marv the other day, just looking at you, about language. Yeah.
Mhm.
And about how these days we are not actually challenging students to learn this type of vernacular that's presented in the poem, right? And so because they find it difficult, they don't want to engage with it. And I think maybe in some cases a normie audience may just remember that the Odyssey was difficult to work with and they're not really interested in the movie. And then you've got I want to say you probably also have the different layers of what's going on within the Odyssey as well, because it is technically a mythical telling, right, about a guy who's trying to find his way home, and he just keeps having gods put these little chess pieces in front of him, being like, "No, today you have the Hydra, have fun," right, and all of that. So
that is actually a really good point. There's a super heroic aspect of it, but he's supposed to be a normal man who's outwitting the gods, or his own endurance takes him past what the gods are wanting here. And then sometimes those gods are just a good looking woman who wants him to stay a while, right?
Yeah, 2 years, no big deal.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the mythical tales of a great hero and his exploits. Obviously, it's also the sequel to the Iliad, which is a tale about a hero and his exploits. But in looking at this, it's so funny. Like, Matt Damon is the central character. I don't see many people talking about Matt Damon at all.
Nobody.
It seems like the supporting cast is soaking up all of the oxygen.
Here's the thing. Nobody's talking about Matt Damon. Nobody's talking about Anne Hathaway. No one's talking about Tom Holland. And those are the three people that I think are going to be in the majority of this movie. I don't think, just judging on the Odyssey, Helen of Troy is not a major character.
She's not.
In the Odyssey. She's in the Iliad.
She's mentioned in chapter 4, and all they do is talk about how beautiful she is. She's not actually a character.
Yeah. And, she never had a twin sister. And then Sinon, or, whoever Elliot Page is playing, I don't think that Sinon's not even in the Odyssey.
Mm-mm.
So they're cribbing from the other material. They've I guess got the permission from the Homer estate in order to go into the appendices on this one.
Yes, the Homer estate.
Right. Looking at the cast list, I mean, it does have a remarkable cast. If Elliot Page was in this, I don't know, 20 years ago, that would have been interesting. Put her in a blonde wig, and
I can't remember. I think Marv and I were talking about it at one point. If Elliot was in there as Hermes, my thought was oh, that would make sense.
Yeah,
right?
I had heard originally that Elliot Page was playing Hermes, and I actually kind of liked that casting, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah.
I knew that Elliot Page was not going to be Achilles the way they were all saying. There was no way. But apparently, according to Chris Gore, there is a line in there about how Sinon is the greatest soldier they've ever seen, or something the strongest.
Oh, wow.
All 5'2".
The only casting that I would see, and I would never want this in a Punch-Out movie in the literal sense, because I would not go see that Punch-Out movie, but Little Mac vibes is what I'm getting from watching Elliot Page in the ring.
Right.
Where you get someone who is a few pixels tall, and then you have these massive boxers that are
a Punch-Out. If a Punch-Out movie ever happens, it has to be animated.
Right. You know what's fascinating? Nolan is the director of a film that I think is a perfect film, and that is The Prestige. And it's
that
one
was actually good.
Put on at any moment, and I will watch it in its entirety and want to watch it again. I usually when I get to the end credits, I hate whatever song that has been put on the end credits, but I even like the end credits song on The Prestige. But with this one, I'm not sure. I don't know if this one is going to have cultural relevance other than here's another retelling of the Odyssey. It is doing well in the PLF screens because the kind of people who want to watch a Christopher Nolan movie right now are probably the ones that are going to, be springing for those tickets. I heard him described as Michael Bay for the Whole Foods crowd, and that made me laugh so hard.
That's not a nice thing to say.
That's so funny.
But
that's so funny. But like, my question though is, can you make $1 billion just selling out IMAX theaters? Because I don't think you can.
No,
I don't think you can either. And he's important for
Oppenheimer.
IMAX.
Well, so here's the thing with Oppenheimer. They're like, oh, well, it's going to open bigger than Oppenheimer. Nobody had any expectations for Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, had legs because of word of mouth. I don't know if this is going to have that.
And it had legs because of Barbenheimer. And that is the best way to end this one. All right, this is where Pro usually tells me to read the super chats, but I'm not going to tell myself to read the super chats. What I'm going to do is put up on screen that Teddy D.
Whoa!
Holy moly, Teddy D gifted 50 WDW Pro memberships. If I had this on here, I would play that one clip from the end of The Return of the King where he says, "My friends, you bow to no one." It's so good. It's so good.
I was watching a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings videos last night. I think you got a random text from me last night, Jonas, where I was like, "Man, Tolkien can write," because it was all like just about like how like Frodo failed as a hero in the end and how that was the point, and like it was all about like Tolkien's letters where he explains. Oh gosh, just so good.
There's the everything that we could say about Samwise Gamgee has already been said, but man. Samwise. But you know who's even better than Samwise for us in this moment?
Oh, here we go. It's time to party.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Teddy. You fill our hearts. Big Blue Horses for $5. I saw Odyssey. It's a Nolan vanity project to win Oscars.
Nolan Thunder, right?
I would
Thunder vanity project.
I would love to see a 3-hour episode of Lost in the Files from Nolan.
Give him time.
Yeah. It's a forgettable film, and Hollywood, just trying to justify itself, needs $700 million to break even. Let's see, $250 million in projected budget. Nolan is actually a competent filmmaker who probably didn't do a bunch of reshoots after test screenings because he wants to do what he wants to do. At least $100 million in selling it. So yeah, $700 million. That rule of thumb makes sense to me. Anybody else have any theories on that? All righty. Dane Ren Gray for $2. That's a cool looking avatar. Odyssey by Denis Villeneuve. Hart Caro.
That's my husband. He's saying hi.
Well, he has a cool avatar.
He does. It's one of our favorite mangas.
Yeah, my daughter was telling me about a character in My Hero Academia yesterday that is named Manga.
Really?
He's cool. Yeah, he's got the superpower of using the sound effects for manga, so it's really funny.
Cool.
Yeah,
I've watched all of My Hero Academia. I do not remember.
He was in one of the first team up exams that happened, I think, in like season 2. So he just basically has like the sound effects from a manga coming, like they crash down on people and whatnot.
That's weird.
So he's better than Kevin Smith's onomatopoeia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually can't speak without causing sound effects.
It was one of those like handbooks that you can pick up. That it was funny because it had some kind of localization differences there, where some of it did read from left to right. So, WJB Daily for $5. Movies are measured by money, inflation, rather than tickets. Side.
Yeah.
You know what is fantastic? Matt Bellany from Puck actually did an entire podcast talking about how butts in seats is actually the better metric. but
It
they don't
is.
want to do that. So he didn't say butts in seats. He said audience retention or audience attrition or something like that. But man, I wish they measured it that way.
Well, because usually when I do movie reviews for you guys on that Part Place, one of the things I'll comment in the beginning is like, yeah, this theater's empty. It's just me in here.
Right. And well, the other thing about it is movie theater ticket prices. There's inflation, and then there's movie theater ticket price inflation, which is all on a whole nother level. It is thoroughly outpaced inflation every single time. So you can't just do straight inflation on this, which obviously anything straight Hollywood resists.
They don't want.
Mark Fields for $2. Denise Dune, all style and no substance. I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
I will also say that they are getting straighter in Hollywood, though. We just did an article about the fact that for the third straight year, LGBT characters and content in movies has gone down, with no instances of any LGBT stuff in any movie rated PG or younger in the family genre.
Yeah,
Netflix is doing that too. They have like more scheduled like family and like Christian content coming out now.
Yeah,
but they also got taken to court and grilled about why they had so much like of that propaganda in their releases. So
yeah, they totally denied it and then changed what they were doing after that. I do think it's hilarious to call it the third straight year. Carl Anderson for $2. It's the same way my theater in Sioux Falls. It's the same way at my theaters in Sioux Falls. Where is Sioux Falls? Is it
Maeve?
Maeve?
Apparently. I don't know.
Maeve.
I remember Carl.
Michigan?
Hello, Carl.
I feel like I've met Carl at an event before, possibly as well.
Well, that's at our booth over at MegaCon.
That's at MegaCon.
Yeah.
Right.
You might have been there.
I probably didn't recognize you because you didn't have your hat. What am I going to do when I meet Jonas and he's not a cartoon avatar?
No, you're not going to know what to
Have
do.
you not seen what I look like? I thought you'd seen what I look like.
No. See, that's the joke, because the first time I met Marv when we weren't on screen, he didn't have the hat. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, it was a platypus. Benny the platypus.
Yeah, I said this last night on the stream. Oh, South Dakota is where Sioux Falls is. Thank you very much, Carl. I said this on the stream last night with Dean Kane. Dean knows me as a real person, and we've met in other contexts outside of this. And he joined late on the stream, so I have no idea how he perceives the fact that in this context I'm a cartoon character. So
I'm sure he thought it was wonderful.
yeah, or he's just being very polite and classy about not pointing it out. So Kalioth for 10. Oppenheimer only went big because the public was finally free, starved for a shiny object and its traditional exotic woman on screen. They should reissue Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor just for spite. So I skipped out on Oppenheimer because it had an extended nude scene in it, so I've never seen it. So I can't comment on it.
I haven't seen it. I think my husband saw it though.
Yeah. Maravita for $5. I honestly am more interested in seeing the new Paw Patrol movie than the Odyssey. I've never seen Paw Patrol.
You should
They have dinosaurs in it.
Just go see Wishbone Odyssey. That's all you need to see. That's it.
Okay, so I took my family to see Minions and Monsters, and the oldest wasn't there, and my wife wasn't there, so it was the three youngest. And I'll say they were incredibly excited for Coyote versus Acme. Like, one of my children gasped when they saw Wile E. Coyote on screen in a trailer. What else? It was, but I will say Paw Patrol. They were excited about dinosaurs, and Moana, nothing. Like, the kids were not interested in Moana.
Boy, I'm shocked. The box office is kind of reflecting that, huh?
I know. And there were moments, of course, in Minions and Monsters where they were dying laughing. Mostly where one of the monsters gets pantsed, and one of the minions, well, let's just say he got a whooping.
There's a line where the sky meets the sea and makes no money.
I was going to say, speaking of which, there was a line in that one scene where the guy gets spanked, but it was less apparent because it was in a wide shot, if you know what I mean. Kalioth for 2. My small town theater, 90% sold for Odyssey Thursday. Really?
So I looked into both the theaters in, by Southeast Game Exchange, where I'm going to go see it, and I looked into the ones here in Orlando. The IMAX showings are fairly full. Not any of them sold out. I could still get one if I wanted to. But the regular showings, man, they're not selling.
I'm going to be so curious to see how this one does. Because Nolan has been one of those people who has accessible films as well as, elevated. He's supposed to be able to live in both worlds, and that's been kind of his saving grace in Hollywood, is that he makes the kind of movies that people who love movies and are pretentious and maybe kind of are have that little bit of a jaded aspect to them, like Moonlight, yeah, Moonlight winning Best Picture. That's the kind of thing where the rest of America goes, "What's Moonlight?" Right? With Christopher Nolan, people are familiar with his filmography, so he can make movies that are a little overcomplicated enough for you to chew on them a little bit and speculate as to what means what. People are still debating about the end of Inception, but he also has things that people would actually want to go see. So I don't know. Armchair sociologist here. I think people are tired of some of the things that are showing up in the Odyssey.
I remember, I think Inception was like the first film that my parents and I disagreed on because I actually thought it was good and they thought it was trash. And I was like, wow, really? And yeah, no, they hated it.
You ever see back when Rick and Morty was good, when they did the Inception episode? Yeah. And they were like, well, if you think that this is stupid and so is everybody's favorite movie, Morty. What did they hate about it? Just the concept?
They didn't, it was very strange because normally my parents they're very educated and they're willing to articulate why they're dissatisfied with something, but they just said they thought the plot was trash, they thought the acting was bad. There was only one actor that was there because if he wasn't there, my mom was literally about to leave the theater, and it was very strange for my husband and I because we actually thought it was a good film and we didn't know how to have this conversation with my parents, and so we just decided to never bring the movie up again.
But you know what movie we're going to be talking about for generations?
Which one?
Avengers Endgame. Or wait, I've already forgotten the title of it. Doomsday. Doom. Avengers Doomsday is supposed to save the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Walt Disney Company at large. But here we are looking at a movie that is on track to be the most expensive film ever made by a long shot, by design, before they get into reshoots. And it looks like this train was already in motion before they completely built it. And they had to add on a few cars, it sounds like. The rumor here out of that Park Place, we're quoting someone else's rumor. I need to point that out so we don't put this all on Marvin. Rumor, Avengers Doomsday is facing major problems. Film is a complete mess after shooting without a finished script. That word complete is, that's an interesting word. I just have to say, we're going to go to the reasoning behind this, but I just have to point out the Hollywood Reporter already corroborating some of the points of this. Avengers Doomsday tickets to go on sale next week. Runtime revealed, although it's not final.
Not final because they're still trying to patch this Frankenstein's monster together.
Yep. Marvin, we have the option here of introducing using your words or having you state what's going on. Dealer's choice here.
Essentially what's going on here, Jonas, is they started filming this without a completed script. And that's something that we've known for quite a while because Rebecca Romijn probably said something she shouldn't have said when they were doing an interview with her. And they asked her if she's seen the full script. And she's like, well, there isn't a full script. It's not done yet. Which Kevin Feige then immediately had to jump in front of the train a couple days later and be like, well, this is what we do. We're constantly plussing the script. Meanwhile, this is a movie, Jonas, where if you remember, months into filming, they were still hiring new writers. They brought in the Deadpool guys. So now apparently they thought they had everything correct, when they were filming it, and they thought that it would come together. And in the editing room, they are not, quote, finding the film in the editing room. Because you flew by the seat of your pants and you filmed a bunch of scenes with a bunch of different actors, 60 different named characters apparently in this movie, by the way, what World of Real had said. So they filmed all this stuff, and now they're just like, well, how do we put this together? And apparently it's trying to create like a legitimate narrative out of this has just been incredibly difficult for them.
This is one of those things where if you had a vision from start to end of where this story needs to go, I get it that you have, 60 characters that you're trying to put into the movie. I wonder who's going to end up getting cut in all of this, because it sounds like this is so chaotic that they may have already shot some things for number two, may even have already shot some things for number three, not because of forward thinking, but maybe because they still haven't figured out what's going to go into number two. And we say number three because I think that they're going to try to salvage this thing as much as possible and try to get as much money out of the global public as possible. Caro, I was wondering what your thoughts on this are. When you go into a story as a writer, how important is it to have the end in mind as opposed to the middle in mind?
I'm laughing because Caro and I have had this conversation before because we're very different on this.
Yeah, I'm an outliner, and so I usually like to know where the story's going and where we're gonna. My concern with this film is I don't, because first off, you said it was started without it being finished, so that's always like a giant alarm bell to me. It doesn't matter what project it is or where I am. If I hear that something's finished and the script's not done, I like panic, like internally, like my heart pressure goes up. Because more than likely what this is probably going to be is like a hodgepodge of like really cool scenes that are kind of loosely tied together for the sake of like giving certain actors like screen time, and then being it for us to be able to make memes and like little like shorts on phones and on all of that. And I think it's just a waste of time. Like I have zero interest in watching this. I mean, ever since like Endgame, I was like, I'm done. Like that was it for me. I could move on with my life. And but for some reason, like they were like, no, we're gonna keep going and make more films. And we were all like, but we don't care. Like we legitimately do not care.
You know what? I would say a lot of us still did want to see where they were going to go with stuff, but then like once we realized that she's got help scene from the end of Endgame, that really cringy A-Force scene, like that was just going to be Marvel going forward. And once we realized that, we were all like, no, thank you.
Well, because part of the things that they were, I mean, like, I think we're all very educated and we all are knowing this, so I'm just going to reiterate things that we already know. But when they moved into, like, that phase after Endgame where they were, like, doing all, like, the female protagonist focus movies and stuff like that, it's not because they were trying to bring more females to the table. It's because women actors are cheaper, right? Like, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't brought back because they actually wanted to kill his character. It's because he's very expensive. Right? Like he is the most expensive thing in the film.
Yeah, he apparently the deal with him was that he gets like a percentage of the gross.
Right.
Which for a movie like Endgame is substantial.
I think the other thing is they brought back half of the writers for Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. It was Marcus and McFeely, and I forget which of the two that they brought back, but they didn't bring back both of them on this one. And they also have the Russo brothers, who are company men through and through. And I've seen some of their stuff outside of Marvel, and it's still good, but it hasn't had the commercial success that they've had with Marvel. It also there's been no build up to whatever's going on in this movie, other than they have to establish two sets of characters, that being the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, and some brief mention of Doctor Doom at the end of Fantastic Four, if people haven't fallen asleep by the end of that very boring movie. I'm sorry. I know I get resistance on this, but that movie was aggressively
You get resistance
boring.
on that? That's a terrible.
Which movie
film.
was boring?
Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I hated it.
It's a great soundtrack, but I'd rather just listen to the soundtrack on its own. So looking at what they're doing here, there's no anticipation for what should be going on here. There's no, hey, are we going to see the resolution on Steve Rogers' story arc? Because it was very much resolved. There's no resolution to be had on any story arc at this point because there's nothing to be resolved. So they have to build the stakes from scratch. They still haven't addressed whether or not they're going to, because they're not saying whether there's actually any connection between Tony Stark and Doctor Doom in this, despite it being the same guy. So, and there's no clear audience consensus on whether that's a good or a bad thing, other than it's just kind of weird So this movie is such a black box. The audience isn't looking for anything out of this film other than shiny key jangling. Hey, remember the keys that we jangled over here for this movie? Remember what it felt like when we jangled those keys over there? We hope you feel that again. But also, this guy's evil now. We don't know why. So I really I would hate to be the editor on a film like this to try to.
I would hate to be the
construct
editor on
something.
the script of this.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Even Joss
I would-
Whedon talks
I would-
about the Go ahead.
I would say I would like to be the editor on this film because then I can cut Pedro out.
Yeah, and he's still releasing movies that are like Behemoth. It just got a trailer, and I got to say, automatically not interested in that movie if someone thinks that he's the great choice for a lead role. With this, and this is how great the deleted scenes and commentaries used to be. Even Joss Whedon talks about what came together in the edit on Avengers. There's a line where it's the scene where Nick Fury and Captain America are talking, and he says, "You should have thrown the Tesseract back into the ocean." And then the next shot is Iron Man in the ocean installing one of his arc reactors, which are based on Tesseract technology, if you follow the backstory of everything. And he said, if you thought that this was me intentionally doing something cool and creating a great segue, well, it wasn't intentional, but it is a great segue. Like there's so much that once you start looking at visually what's going on screen and with the script and everything, this is you have to let the creative process happen. Deadlines are important for most people, but looking at this, I don't think that they have enough room to breathe to make something great. I think they've got a deadline and a merch release schedule, and they've got plastic tool dies that have to be keyed up in order to make sure that all the toys are on the shelf in time for this movie to be released this December. And all of those things are more important than whether or not this is a good movie. So
Yeah,
I really don't. I don't feel for them on this one.
No, this is a situation I think almost like where like Justice League was in no way done, but they didn't want to push it back because then the board of directors didn't get their their bonuses. This is and they are also like they also don't want to move from that December 18th because of Dune, and they don't want to be the ones to blink, even though Dune had the date first.
Right, because they would rather pee in somebody else's cornflakes than admit that maybe they need a little bit more time on this one. I don't know. Do either of you have any closing thoughts before we move on from the train wreck that Disney has already put in motion here before it hits that December release date?
I would pay money to be in the debriefing room for after this film launches.
You think they're going to do that? Do you actually think they're going to look back and go, hey, what could we have done better?
I don't know. Like, I kind of wish there was one, and I would just sit there very quietly. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't post anything online. I just want to know.
There will be no conversation about what they could have done better, Jonas. It will be what could the audience have done better.
Well, that's what it's going to be publicly, but I think that you're going to have another Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams situation. I think that they have to wait until the end of Doomsday to hear what everybody thinks about what should have happened, and then they're going to finish writing Secret Wars or Avengers Forever or whatever the next movie ends up being. So good luck to the Russos. I hope the paycheck is worth all the scrutiny that's coming your way. Wolf of McGruffle III says, Jonas, where is Bro? He's blindfolded in my basement. Kaylee, Marvel could save Doomsday with one battle, Doom X Thanos.
Your audio is a little wonky right now, Jonas.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. How wonky is it?
Now it's better. It was
to...
No, you sounded like you were coming through a fast food drive-through window, but now you're fine.
Do you want franchise in Pensacola? Anyway, Kaylee for $2. Marvel could save Doomsday with one battle, Doom X Thanos. I worry that that's actually what they're going to do. actually.
I feel like that's got to be coming at least in Secret War. It's possible.
Yeah, the Death
Let's
Drawer
job out
for-
Thanos to put over our fake Doom.
Yeah, the right. Well, that's if you go watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, there's a really great trope. It's not really great. It is in like it's well written. It's shorthand for how strong are the people that we're fighting in this episode of The Next Generation. So the first thing that happens is they beam onto the bridge, and how do you demonstrate immediately that the stakes are super high? You have them clobber or throw the strongest person on the bridge. So if they wanted to communicate very quickly that someone was strong, they would have Worf confront them on the bridge, and then Worf would get thrown into a panel and it would explode.
Right.
So Thanos getting clobbered by Doom is probably in the cards.
Well, I mean, we saw Doom. The first thing Thanos did was kill Loki, who was the villain of the first, the first Avengers movie. So,
Yeah, yes. And I still can't get over the paperweight thing. A Miravita for $5. Caro, if I wanted to revisit the Odyssey, I will just pull out my college textbooks. LOL. For humanities, we had to read Homer and Dante, and I kept them.
I'm happy for you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep. Blankenship Comics. I have not looked into the new Little House on the Prairie yet, so I probably will get around to that. But I don't want
been hearing
to be
bad, terrible things.
Yeah.
Just absolutely terrible
too.
things.
All right. Let's see. Well, we have an interesting story here. It looks like Disney is up to their own shenanigans yet again. Let's go to this one from That Park Place.
I knew you were going to do this one.
It looks like Disney parks are back into the political game in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, my shocked face.
The classically apolitical company Disney, that's sarcasm for the Tylenol crowd, has made a $100,000 donation to Democrat Stephanie Murphy's political campaign in Orange County, Florida. Not the Orange County that Disneyland is in, but the Orange County that Disney World is in. Let's go to this story from Trevor Denning of That Park Place. The Walt Disney Company is once again making headlines in Florida. According to a newly released campaign finance record, Disney Experiences contributed $100,000 to former U.S. Representative Stephanie Murphy's campaign for Orange County mayor, marking what is believed to be the company's largest ever donation to a local political candidate. The contribution, first reported by the Orlando Sentinel, underscores Disney's continued interest in the political leadership of the county that is home to Walt Disney World. The company declined the newspaper's request for comment. Now, Disney has been involved in local Orange County politics for a very long time, until Ron DeSantis said you're not allowed to do that.
Yes.
They had something called the Reedy Creek Improvement District for a very long time, in which they would set the board of the local improvement district using their own people, who would sometimes have @disney.com email addresses, and they would issue municipal bonds, otherwise known as government bonds, from a Disney operated and owned. Sorry, let me rephrase this. They would allegedly, the audit findings from the people who went and looked into this felt that there was an inappropriate relationship between RCID and the Disney company in issuing municipal bonds by a corporation. Again, municipal bonds are supposed to be in the public interest, and Disney is a private company. That public-private partnership was basically a private partnership. In fact, though. But now, after Disney, which all of that was dissolved. Marvin, do you remember what the inciting incident that got that all dissolved was?
Reedy Creek Improvement District, that would be the Parental Rights and Education Bill.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. I had a little note to check in the back here.
So the Parental Rights and Education Bill, which was referred to in the media as the Don't Say Gay bill. Disney was not taking a stance on that publicly, but then Bob Chapek, who was the CEO at the time, was essentially pulled into a meeting and held against his will by Victoria Alonso for 3 hours until he agreed. And Bob Iger, who was not the CEO at the time, came out publicly and lambasted the company for not taking a stance on it. So Bob Chapek came out. He came out against the parental rights and education bill, and Ron DeSantis then made his life a living hell for the next several months until he was fired.
Right, and in all of that, Chapek vowed to fight any legislation that was like the parental rights and education bill in any jurisdiction in the United States where something like that was proposed, because he said he wasn't an ally enough, as he was holding the paper down, and you couldn't see off screen to see whether or not he was being physically threatened, but it did read like a hostage video here. So
yeah, Victoria Alonso was holding a lead pipe.
Let's add some context on Victoria Alonso, the infamous VFX supervisor and then eventual VFX production head of Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
She basically said that she chewed him out for 45 minutes or something like that when she got her GLAAD award. Was it before or after being fired that she confessed to chewing out the CEO?
I don't know. She might. I could see it being beforehand, because I feel like I knew this story before she got fired.
Yeah.
So and then caused him to make a decision that would go on to haunt them forever.
Right. So to get back to this story, though, Murphy is a Democrat in Florida's 7th congressional district. She was a congresswoman from 2017 to 23 and is one of 4 candidates seeking to replace the outgoing Orange County Mayor, Jerry Demings. Disney's $100,000 contribution helped Stephanie Murphy's campaign expand an already sizable fundraising advantage. Her campaign has also received major financial support from Bloomberg, Hyatt Brown, Beach Holly, Murphy's Center Aisle PAC. So if it's just a money thing, I think she's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Florida. Florida is a red state. But once you start getting into some of the more populated areas, you get bluer cities. And
Orlando is a very blue city. I would say it's a Roy G. Biv city because it is a very rainbow-colored city. But yeah, it is Orlando is a very blue city.
Yeah. Caro, looking at this, knowing Disney's political history here, would you say that this is a sign that Disney's about to get right back into the politics that they were supposedly getting out of, or is this just par for the course?
I really feel like they're about to get back into it, because if there's one thing Disney has been really good at not doing, it's learning from past events. So we can take a look at their choices with their movie productions and all of that, and look at this, and they're probably thinking well, we'll just do this and see if we can. This might be their way to get more financial backing, since they keep losing money on all their films as well. That's one thought I have. Allegedly, please don't come for me. I'm just a little tiny author out here in Texas.
They are losing money on all of their films, in my opinion. Generally speaking, they've never really made money on their films. They're ads for the parks, but when the parks aren't making money, then wow, they're screwed.
Because they're going more and more into the hole right now. They have to butter up to somebody. And for some reason, it's not the customers.
This actually might not be so much about this woman specifically, Stephanie Murphy. It might also be about who, taking care of, getting out of somebody else. Because if you read on, Orange County Commissioner Mayra Uribe suggested the company backed Murphy because of disagreements over her own efforts to reduce the tourism industry's influence on county government.
Now, that's an interesting idea here. I mean, the tourism industry's influence, to me, that reads as NBC and Disney, but mostly Disney, because Disney is much more active politically in the area than NBC.
You don't think SeaWorld is getting in on the political action?
I actually saw a really great story out of SeaWorld rescuing like 50 belugas that had been left at an abandoned theme park recently. So, for all that blackfish trouble that they got in a while ago, I appreciate what they're doing now. Love to see this Free Willy reboot that
No, I
supposedly the
don't.
Russo brothers are going to be
Leave
doing.
it alone.
We all know what it's going to be.
Leave it
Right.
alone.
Nobody touched that Michael Jackson song, right?
Yeah.
But looking at this, Disney does its best when it donates a small amount to all political candidates to just keep everybody on their good side. But I wonder if even touching that at all at this point runs afoul, because politics have become so divisive that you can't donate to quote unquote everybody.
So I mean, there are multiple Democratic candidates in this race right now, and a lot of them were just kind of like, "Hey, what the heck?" There was one of them that's referenced in the article by Trevor, who did a phenomenal job on this one, who said she's Orange County Clerk of Courts Tiffany Moore Russell expressed surprise, calling the amount shocking after previously speaking with Disney representatives before learning the company had chosen to support Murphy instead. So.
I think Disney. Caro said it best. I think Disney is back to their old shenanigans, and it'll remain to be seen how they handle this over the next few years.
I feel like Jonas, Pro would be very disappointed with us if we did not mention why that might be, and it could be summed up in 2 words: Dana Walton.
Yes. Actually, there's a lot of positioning, like that story about whether or not they would sell off Disney Plus, or not really sell. I think they would nullify Disney Plus more than they would sell it. But that would either shift Dana Walden to different sectors, or allow the parks business to do what it does, or maybe even allow the creatives to just create instead of worrying about distribution platforms.
What?
Here,
That's craziness.
yeah, and the fact that she tried to downplay her relation to a certain political candidate, fascinating to watch. That sounded like I was making a reference to Trump. If nobody knows who Dana Walton is hanging out with, right? To try to distance her relationship with Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff back before she got passed over for the CEO role. I wonder if this company is just irreparable and truly lost. I honestly think that it is. So
Man, I forgot all about Kamala until you mentioned her name.
Yep. It's sometimes her laugh reverberates through the utilidors over there at the Disney company.
That sounds nice. I'm jealous of you.
All right. We got another story here for y'all today. I think this is an interesting one, and I would love to get Kara's opinion on it. Rumor: Adam Driver eyed for Magneto.
Your mic's cutting out again.
I don't know what to do about this mic. Is it a
now?
It's
back. The second I pointed out, it comes like it's almost like the microphone, is like, oh really? Oh sorry.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay.
You're fine now.
Is it an internet thing? I wonder if it's a cable thing on this mic.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen, and I'm going to press this button again. In a new rumor that has been corroborated by 2 scoopers, it looks like Adam Driver might be in talks to play Magneto, and Patrick Wilson may be playing Professor X. This is the first indications that we've had of what this new X-Men movie might be. And I think this is very interesting that they might be going with a major Hollywood actor for Magneto instead of just trying to hire someone to fit into that mold.
Major Hollywood actor? I thought they were going with Adam Driver.
Oh, see, fair enough. I did open that one up. But I will say, I noticed 2 things about Magneto. He's a white guy, and so is Professor X in this rumor.
Gasp!
Yeah.
Look, I don't know why anyone ever thought Magneto was going to be anything but a white guy. Magneto's a supremacist, and they were never making him anything but a white guy. Let's be real here.
Well, yeah, I that is fair. So in the comic books, Magneto eventually was written as a survivor of the Holocaust, which, I'm just going to say that so we can get it out of the way. Let's try not to linger too long there before the algorithms hate us.
Correct.
But some of a lot of what he does is informed by the prejudice of man. Now, I see different ways that they could have played that, and Disney's a company that is fully on board at times with trying to say that one oppression narrative is outranking a different oppression narrative. So it would be the dumbest thing that Disney could do in some ways, but it's also very Disney for them to say, oh, well, we see these other people as oppressed, so we're going to retell this in this different way. Like the fact that there is no Uncle Ben in the Marvel Cinematic Universe comes to mind for Spider-Man.
And then they gave May his line. That made me so upset.
Yeah. So in the end, they not only didn't have Uncle Ben, they basically gender swapped Uncle Ben in those movies.
They had hinted that there was an Uncle Ben in like the first movie and in Civil War. And then all of a sudden, I guess somewhere around the second movie, or not even, because in the second movie, he has the BP monogrammed suitcase. So I feel like for No Way Home, that was when they decided that Uncle Ben never existed.
Did he have the BP suitcase, or was that is that a memory of Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No, that was in. I'm pretty sure that was in Far From Home. I think he had the suitcase that had the BP on it.
Oh, that's right. It was the subway tokens that transport you to the super technological subway station in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That was.
Oh my, oh my. So
but yes.
Yep. For years, Marvel Studios' long-awaited X-Men reboot has existed almost entirely as a blank slate. By the way, this was pointed out as one of the reasons the Fox merger had to happen in 2019. So here we are 7 years later. Fans have speculated endlessly about who could play Professor X, Magneto, Wolverine, Cyclops, and the rest of Marvel's iconic mutant team, but very little has emerged that appears to point towards an actual direction for the project that may be finally changing. A new rumor making the rounds online claims that Oscar-nominated actor Adam Driver has been cast as Magneto in Marvel Studios' reboot, while a separate rumor continues to link Patrick Wilson to the role of Professor Charles Xavier. So this comes from My Time to Shine, hello, and then is it Apocalypse Horseman is the person coming
Apocalypse
through to
Horseman.
corroborate.
Yep.
Yeah, which the track records there are very interesting to me. I think Apocalypse Horseman probably a little bit more consistent, a little less posts a little less often about what they think is happening. I would say in all of this, I don't see Patrick Wilson as Professor X as much. He's physically the type, although I doubt he's going to cut his hair off. Magneto, I can see Driver playing Magneto.
I could see it, and I could see it being age appropriate if the X-Men if the baseline for the X-Men is Sadie Sink as Jean, if she is in fact playing Jean Grey, if that's where we're going with a younger X-Men team that are going to actually be like school age, then yes, this does make sense to have Magneto and Xavier be in their 40s or 50s. I don't hate that at all. I think Patrick Wilson is in his 50s and Adam Driver is in his 40s, which would give Adam Driver time in the role because you're not going to be worried about him dropping dead. I think Adam Driver could bring a gravitas to Magneto. I don't hate this casting at all. I would request that they color his hair white for the love of all that's holy, because that was what I was waiting with Fassbender for like 4 movies in the in the rebooted Fox films, but we never got white-haired Magneto in it.
He was great as Magneto. I still, I think McAvoy's a great actor. I still had trouble thinking of him as Professor X, which I never had that problem with Patrick Stewart. I almost called him Jimmy Stewart. That's a very different one right there. Caro, what do you think about this casting?
I will tell you just real quick. There's some comic lore corrections that are coming in the chat. Where I guess back in 1981 there was a retcon in Uncanny X-Men 105 by Chris Claremont about Magneto. So where they
go for it. I will clarify away if you need to.
No, I just wanted to throw it out there because I was watching it like start to explode, and then my DMs were exploding. So I was like, okay, I've acknowledged the community notes.
Wait, what is the thing that they're saying in that?
Oh, they're saying so the community note. Let me find it again that I had here. Magneto being a Holocaust survivor was a retcon in Uncanny X-Men 105, which was written by Chris Claremont back in 1981. So that was a thing.
And he would have been significantly older at the time. So I'm also trying to work out what the timeline would be. Like, when would this need to be set? So, like Captain America, they have the blessing of him being frozen in time, frozen in the ice for an indeterminate amount of time, right? So they can just stretch that, right?
My thought, and it's actually a fun thought, so excuse me, guys, is that if they are going with Adam Driver, he could be a Magneto clone, because there was a storyline where Magneto did have a cone, and then like him and Rogue got it on, and I was so into it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what was his name? Joseph. And he had like really long hair, and he was using just this like the stock X-Men costume.
Yeah.
And I was very interested in what was going on with that.
I would also say that in the comics before, there have been retcons that have Magneto aging slowly.
Yeah, they do that.
Like,
I had to have somebody,
because magnetism, I guess.
I had to have somebody explain to me at one point, because I was because I like to read Rogue, and so somebody was like, have you read like Savage Rogue? And I was like, you know what, I haven't. I had like this one thing where I was like, at one point, like Magneto's clothes like completely like, disintegrate, and he looks like a silver fox, I'm not even gonna lie. But then in the next panel, his clothes come back, and I'm like really confused. I'm like, is this like a coloring choice? And I had to have Aaron Sparrow explain to me that due to like Magneto's magnetic ability, his clothes are actually also magnetic, so even though they're destroyed, they come back, and then he's reclothed again. And I was like, that sounds, I don't like it, but whatever.
There is so much that X-Men writers have done over the years to prey on the fact that most people don't understand what magnetism actually does.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, magnetism for a very long time was the same thing. Like, we talk about artificial intelligence now. There's a what is the concept? Phlebotinum. Like when Stargate ran out of Naquadah, they had Nequadria, and it was just this thing that if we're going to take a little shaving of this, and then all of a sudden we have a device that can do literally whatever. So vibranium went from being a metal in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In Age of Ultron, it became, well, we can use this to literally make superpowers out of anything.
It's also really funny with like
magnetism was like that.
You talk about Magneto as like the silver fox. You can always tell which writers like really think that. Like in X-Men 97, when Bo DeMeo has him like in a pair of briefs strapped to a St. Andrew's cross, and you're just like, what is happening right now?
What you up to, Bo? What you up to? What you thinking about over there? Oh yeah, and you can tell like because Rogue has her relationship with him as well, as long with Gambit, and I remember the first time I actually like came across it, I did not know originally that they had like some kind of like thing going on, and I was reading this one comic, I was like, there is like some sexual tension in this panel right here, like what is going on? And then I had to go educate myself, and I was like, she'd be talking to them silver foxes.
Yeah. So one thing I'd have to point out, if we go for the World War II backstory, that would set this story around 1965 to 1975, which is obviously something that's been done in the movies before. But that is one thing that the First Class and then the subsequent Simon Kinberg films have kind of ruined for the X-Men. We'll do the X-Men in this era, in this era, in this era, and so they've touched all of them. So it's like doing a Venom story at this point. Well, I don't think they're going to want to touch Venom until they've like established it in the way that they've never done in the movies, which is making it like Eddie Brock. So
So
I guess they did touch Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3.
Well, one thing to remember, Jonas, I don't think they're going to do a period piece with this, because we already have, from what we heard, we already have a Jean Grey and Sadie Sink, and she's set in modern day. So
that's why I think the clone thing might be better. And that's like the one problem when you have like an iconic character that's tied to a period, right? Like you can't you can say like his magnetism will stop him from aging as much as you want, but at this point, like what is he, like 110? Like come on.
Yeah, because magnetism.
Just give him the Dark Phoenix. Let's just move on.
Just like Rogue can touch him because magnetism.
Magnitude.
Right.
No,
He would
actually,
need to
no.
be as old
like,
as Steve Rogers at this point in order for this to make any sense. And the farther away you get from, this is the problem when you go from sliding timeline to fixed points in the timeline is that all of a sudden that sliding timeline doesn't work very well. But yes,
No.
okay. So you can have a character that has, let's say it's a civil rights background. I know it's not a civil rights background, but let's say it was. Okay, all of a sudden it's definitely the 1960s then. Then you break it. But I will say, as far as actors go, I think Adam Driver is an excellent actor.
I think he's going to be great. I love him in everything. Even if I don't like the film, I liked him in it. Like, that's just been my one constant. So
yeah, I have no complaints about his performances in the sequel trilogy or any of that. He actually comes and he brings the passion to whatever he's doing, or he's paid so well that he gets passionate about it. So
what was that one film he was in? Was it called Lucky?
Was it?
Was it? It was the heist one. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh,
Where he played the
Lucky, Logan
amputee?
Lucky.
Logan Lucky. I loved him in that. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was so good. I do want to add a final note real quick. And all the creativity that I see in people trying to get like Magneto and Rogue together, right? I would really like to see that creativity brought into other stories. So that way we can get like better timelines and things like that. Because I feel like for some reason we put more effort in trying to figure out how to make that happen and not actually make like other good stories, if that makes any sense. So
yeah.
All right.
So with that being said, X-Men, if whoever is working on this, first of all, kudos to you if you actually name this movie X-Men. And second of all, what we all really want is for Rogue to depower Captain Marvel and make that the actual 90s version of Rogue. Yeah. Come on.
You guys want Rogue and Magneto together? What is wrong with you?
No, it's canon.
Seriously, what is wrong with you people? It's Gambit.
Rogue tapped the Magneto. It happened.
Robit. That's the ship. And it always has been.
It is the ship. I'm just saying that, sometimes before that became a thing, she was with somebody else. Just like in that one issue of Gambit, he went off and kissed 3 different women before he came home.
But he didn't like it. He felt badly about it.
Gambit don't go where he not invited.
All right. Now, it feels badly for me to be up here and Carol be down there. Carol, you hop up. I'll go down. And what is this still background we've got? Jonas J. Campbell. Fixified. All right, Jonas, it's been a rush to get back over here to the studio, and I'm so happy that you guys were able to handle it for an hour while I was away. Fantastic show, I am sure. Jonas, are we ready for Super Chat, sir?
I do believe we are. One question, though. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah, where's Bro?
Who this be?
Sean Val.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. 280Z Bear for $2. Orlando and Dallas
Pro's
are blue
here.
cities
Hi, Pro.
in red states. Hey. It's like Superman in Clark Kent. Yes, Orlando and Dallas are. Well, is Dallas a blue city? I don't know enough about Dallas.
Oh, no, it's very red here.
I thought it was Austin. That was the one that was a little bit more blue.
Yes.
Recycle bins right next to the trash cans.
By the way, am I seeing what I think I see? Did Fitty D come by while I was gone away?
He did.
Did we play the Fitty D clip and everything?
We did.
Oh, he's still my beating heart.
Hey, boom, boom,
It's time to live it up.
One. Detail Devil for $5. B.D. Howard posts lovely piano tribute of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, aghast at Jurassic Park, May through December romance because patriarchy. My parents, 5F to 12M, but more matriarchy. Detail Devil. I'm going to try to figure this out. BD. Is that Lady Desiree also posted a piano tribute?
It's ironic that your name is Detail Devil and so many details were left out of this.
Harsh. Wow. Shots fired.
I know what's happening. He's got to work within the character limit for the super chat. But
yeah.
I couldn't resist the joke.
Yeah. I'll say Jurassic Park, that was, they'd never quite pinned down how old Dr. Grant is or how old Ellie Sattler is. But they do kind of point out that it's an unusual relationship there. and Ian Malcolm is also interested. So, it's just that everyone is just so full of unresolved romantic tension there that everyone wants to know who's available.
What is it they say, Jonas? Life finds a way.
Yeah, that's true. Kaleoff for 5. A little birdie told me a wild pro has appeared. Someone get the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Skadoosh! Oh,
to 2 unless it is followed by 3. Yeah.
Blue, no yellow. Ah!
The L Racer for $2. I can see Macho Man's eyes. Oh, yeah.
I can see the Macho Man's eyes. Oh, yeah.
I think you're talking about the strongest woman in the world now.
Bonesaw is ready.
That might be the last great episode South Park ever did.
Yeah. And in the words of Lauren Connor, you're the creme de la creme. Yeah. Maravita for fun.
With the crop rising right to the top.
I love this super chat. What did I do at 1:30 in the morning?
You don't know what you did.
What did I do?
$5. Pro, thank you for the 1:30 alarm this morning. It reminded me to go to bed. Do you know what you did? And
So at midnight, we finished the pro show because Dean Kane was on and it went way long. So we finished at midnight, and it was a joy. We're really happy about that. But then the Lauren Connor and Jonas's assistant, well, I don't know if we say it on air. Jonas, you can if you want to, but they got to work on the videos, and so apparently I'm going to guess that we scheduled members exclusive first for Gold Members Up at 1:30 in the morning to get early access to the Moana video that came out, or no, Supergirl video that came out this morning.
Nope. The WDW
That's not what
Pro
happened?
Show was scheduled for 2:30 in the morning this morning. So I woke up to everybody being like, "You're 8 hours late." 6 hours late. Sorry, I didn't wake up that late. So.
Are you for real?
Yeah, you had the show set for 2:30 in the morning.
Jonas.
Okay, well that's really weird because I wouldn't set it for 30 anything. So that's a weird one.
That is a weird one. But
I could see me putting in 2 instead of 12, but the 30 throws me off. That's
I'm
a
not
dirty
involved
30.
with this, so.
That's a dirty 30.
If you Google our next panelist that is coming in here, you may get someone with that wrestler's physique, or you may get someone who has gone toe-to-toe with the Supreme Court of the United States. Please welcome to the show the myth, the man, the legendary Ron Coleman. There's a button here somewhere that I'm supposed to hit.
I'll click it for you. There he is.
We were clapping for too long.
And contrary to popular belief, I am a natty.
Hey, Ron, I thought that was not the greatest intro because, apologies, Jonas, it made it sound like you and the Supreme Court, you clash, but you guys seem to get along real well.
We did get along well, but we haven't. We've had our moments.
Ron, if I can say one thing, can you check your mic inputs to see which one you're on? Because it sounds a little bit softer than usual.
Well, we can adjust the volume if we need to manually. We'll go ahead and do that. Ron, if we get some audio for you before we head into the story.
Ron Coleman here with you on WPRB in Princeton. I'm going to be coming up to you with some Elvis Costello. How was that?
I've got you up to 1:30, and I think you're good.
Perfecto.
All right.
1:30.
Ron's time is valuable, folks, and we mean to use it well. The reason for Ron being on the show today is we've got a real legal quandary out there. Warner Brothers, because they don't have enough problems right now, decided they needed another DC drama. And here we go. They're trying to shut down, I'm going to say it, a little website. I'm not trying to denigrate. I'm just saying, like, in comparison to Warner Brothers, they're going after one of our colleagues out there, and we wonder what the First Amendment has to say about that. Let's go there right now. Here's the story of Warner Brothers trying to decimate a poor website out there. They're not impoverished, but they were just trying to do the right thing. They were reporting on scoops the same way that all of us do. And James Gunn's DC is coming at them with the lawyers. Matt McGloin reporting on this out of Cosmic Book News. We're going to throw them support right now by reading it from them. Lantern's takedowns go cross-platform. Warner Brothers Discovery vendor strikes Cosmic Book News, YouTube, Facebook pulls their video. Here's what it says. Update, a second strike from X has landed. This one from Warner Brothers Discovery's actual content protection department, designating the infringing content as text. Update 2, YouTube has forwarded our counter notification to the claimant, Warner Brothers Discovery, via Mark Scan. Under the DMCA, they now have 10 U.S. business days to provide evidence. They filed a lawsuit against us, yada, yada, yada. And update 3, Meta has now restricted Cosmic Book News from their account that manages a 666, that's an unfortunate number, 1,000 follower page for 30 days. What is this all about? What are all these updates about? What is all... Well, here it is. And we're going to say this, I guess, with some danger to us as well, but we got to defend these sorts of things because this is crazy. Cosmic Book News decided to report on the Green Lanterns show coming out on their streaming platform. A silly little superhero show that probably isn't going to have a lot of support behind it. Now, every day, channels such as this and websites such as that Park Place and Cosmic Book News are reporting on rumors and scoops. And almost always those rumors and scoops are generated from other people. And we're careful about how we do that. We always talk about, this is the category of the thing. It seems like Cosmic Book News did that as well. But this one might have hit close to home because the allegation was, and we don't know if this is true or not, so we're allowed to speculate. Ron, can we speculate?
Are you asking for me for permission to speculate?
Please, sir, I'd like to speculate.
I grant you permission to speculate.
Why, thank you, Your Honor. All right, here's the report. Friday morning, the Hal Jordan leak hits Reddit. Okay, and the thing is, Marvin, if I've got this right, James Gunn's Lantern show is going to feature Hal Jordan for a single episode. This is the allegation. We don't know. This is not our rumor. This is not our scoop. But the allegation is he's going to appear in one episode and he gets yanked, a la what happened with He-Man from Kevin Smith. Is that right?
Yes, that is the rumor that's going around. That is the rumor that was reported by Cosmic Book News and a bunch of other places, all of which also got hit.
All right, so they locked their account. Yeah. So we're in danger reporting this. I'll just tell you. I mean, I don't know what'll happen, but we have to. This is crazy. So they locked their account. Hours later, the vendor pipelines reached YouTube and Facebook. Talks about 2 separate tracks, attacking Cosmic Book News, locking them down, deplatforming them, and essentially, these big businesses really damaging a much smaller business that's just doing what we all do every single day, and I think is covered by the First Amendment. And so, Ron, I wanted to bring you on and ask you, as a legal expert in this area, Ron, what are the rules here? Are we allowed to talk about things we've heard, like
yes,
fiction? Okay, so what's happening here, and do you think that these companies will regret this in any sort of way, or do they essentially get away with it?
It's a great question. It depends on how much of a stomach the affected parties have for the fight. This is not copyright infringement under any conceivable multiverse version, okay? There is no... You can spoil literary, cinematic, dramatic stories all day long. It's not a secret. Ideas are not secrets. Copyrights protects a specific, tangible encapsulation of creative work. The movie itself, the recording itself, the play itself, or the script for the play, or the music, or the sheet music for a song, a recording of a song. But as anyone who knows, who does any YouTube watching knows, you've got people talking about movies all the time. Reviewers spoil stories all the time, and you don't need anyone's permission to do that. It is absolutely outrageous that the platforms are enabling this kind of abuse of the takedown process. And if they get some representation in their in their corner, as they should, this is a problem that must be taken care of. Not only that, what should happen if there's even a little bit of social media pushback, including programs like this, is the problem probably can and should be solved by application of the Streisand effect.
Mm-hmm.
If someone would in fact feed me a screenshot of what is being taken down, I'll share it in a second.
Right. And let them go after you. I like that a lot. Here's what they're doing. It says counter notifications are now being filed on every platform. Retraction requests are with both the social team and Mark Scan. And the restoration clocks all land in roughly the same place, Comic-Con week. In the meantime, Cosmic Book News will not run Warner Brothers Discovery promotional materials while the company files takedowns against their coverage. Official images have been pulled from their Lanterns articles and replaced with their own. The reporting stands on its own just fine. Nobody, it says, runs a 3-platform takedown campaign over a rumor that's wrong.
Let me suggest to you that the reason this is happening is that someone whose job this usually is on a summer vacation.
Oh, that's...
And someone who has this on their list of things that they have to sub in for, I don't want to say an intern. I'd hate to think it were an intern. But someone this is such a ham-fisted bad move that it can't have been done by somebody with regular responsibility for this. And from what you're telling me, the description, what it says in the article that you sent me earlier today, it sounds like they are getting good advice from a lawyer who knows what he or she is doing. And I'm sure it will be resolved very quickly. But I do think that everyone in the creator community and free speech world who has a social media platform should be sharing this stuff. That is the one thing they really can't do anything about.
You know, that's sort of my position on this is it does put us in some danger. I don't know how much danger, but to cover this, if they're going after everybody, but I just say, we cannot be afraid of this kind of thing. You can't let the bullies win. And this is just basic free speech that it might be a pain in the butt to fight, but you got to fight it because otherwise we got to be sitting here and be terrified of reporting on any little story about, oh, did you hear that the MCU there's the script's not going well, the Russo brothers are having a hard time with RDJ. Like,
no,
we can't say that anymore.
No, that's ridiculous. And I'll do you one better. As you guys know, the running joke with me is I don't really hardly consume any of the stuff we talk about, but except in bits and pieces. I watch what's available on YouTube, and I love watching reviews. And sometimes I share them with you guys. It's something I think that it's relevant to your programs. It is astonishing to me how much self-censorship reviewers have to do now. Unable to show clips because
can't show trailers.
Algorithms make these decisions, and I remember years ago writing about the Dancing Baby lawsuit, which was which was just an example of an algorithm making a call. Music was being played in the background, and an AI or other kind of application sucked it up, flagged it as a copyright violation. Even if they had been playing that music in the background, it probably shouldn't have been a copyright violation anyway. What YouTube in particular, and X is much less guilty of this, and you guys know I live on X much more than YouTube, but what YouTube has done to enable the throttling of not only criticism, but also the development of appreciation for the work of creators, including major studios, who would benefit so much by allowing their works to be excerpted. I mean, one of my favorite channels is a guy, Guitar Meets Science.
I have to look it up. I've never heard of that one.
And he talks about rock acts and pop acts from the 60s and 70s and 80s when I was, and I was a DJ in the 80s. Stuff that it's not all my cup of tea. A lot of it is like metal, but the guy has a great channel, and he's never, ever able to even sample the smallest example of the songs and bands that he's talking about.
Yep.
It's so preposterous, and it doesn't have to be that way. But what we're talking about here with what Warner's doing an absolute step on the rake situation. And I, like I said, anyone who has that screenshot, share it with me. I've got a little bit of an audience, which I don't have so much on YouTube. I will blast it out with the story, and
yeah, you got a little audience. Yeah, that's understatement.
You asked the right question, and you knew what the answer would be, and I'm happy to deliver it to you with my arms waving and everything.
Well, before we end the conversation, I do want to ask Caro about this, because Caro, you work in providing entertainment and stories to people, and keeping those stories secret and safe is a huge deal when we're developing all this. And in this case, this is a hugely unpopular thing that they're going to do. And I think we can sort of measure how unpopular it is, again, under James Gunn, by the reaction that we're going to hear. I think Ron's right. It probably is some dumb intern who had no idea what they were doing and has put them in a horrible spot. But Carol, I wonder, do they realize this is so damaging and this is why they're freaking out as well? Because they could reverse course immediately.
Yeah, but then that's egg on their face, and they have to admit that they're wrong. And a lot of times, companies don't like to do that. My general concern is the ripple effect this behavior is going to have, because we're already seeing this with film, and I'm kind of curious about how it's going to affect publishing itself, with books and whatnot. Because I've seen a couple of litigious things happen within publishing between authors. It's usually two women that decide to go at it with each other, and that's kind of funny from a distance, but I don't want to be in the middle of it, right? And if this becomes the standard process for film and TV, then it is going to become that way for book publishing, and that's going to make everything such a giant minefield. And that's my general concern. I don't feel like this behavior should be normalized, and I think it needs to be stopped, or it's going to escalate. And that's my general thought.
Carol,
I do have.
You're 100. This is what we call chilling effect.
Yeah. Oh.
And chilling effects are bad, and they spread. In fact, you look like you're freezing.
Oh, no, I was just trying to cover up my tattoos and look like a classy person with the shawl that I made.
Classy lass.
Yeah.
Not this really works very well in tandem with the entire phenomenon of access media. By getting social media creators off the air or throttling them, that makes them less influential. Their content isn't as good because they can't talk. We can't talk about, copyright protected material, which again, that's complete bullshit. Of course they can. They can't excerpt it, whereas the access media can. There has been. This is just part of a decade-long process by media corporations to reduce and, if possible, eliminate the impact of independent creation, which is an absolute, dagger pointed at the heart of the entire concept of access media.
Go ahead, Marv. I was actually going to ask you, what's our response going to be on that Park Place? Because I don't think we're going to back down from this sort of thing.
No, definitely not. Here's the thing. This is like what Ron said. This is a terrible decision made. And if there's one thing you can always count on Warner Brothers to do, it is to make the exact worst decision possible in any given, instance. What I think what this is also is they are trying to make an example out of McGloin over at Cosmic Book News and other creators, because the rhetoric coming out of DC, through their official podcasts and stuff like that, is that it was the chuds who sunk Supergirl. It was all the YouTubers and it was all the influencers. That's why Supergirl. It wasn't the script. It wasn't Millie Alcock's rhetoric. It wasn't James. It certainly wasn't James Gunn. It's you. And so they're trying. This is my video on this was titled "James Gunn Declared War on YouTubers," and that's what this is. He is trying to scare you away from talking about these things with this illegal and immoral takedown of content. And the way we fight back against it is we don't stand for it.
Jonas, what does this do to the Lantern show when it finally releases?
Well, I see a couple of options. I think the Acolyte, for instance, got big viewership on episode 3 because of a scoop that was posted by Film Threat, who had gotten early access and screening. And so they should be thanking film threat for giving Acolyte the boost that it got. And the other is that people who were already doubting that this show was going to be any good will just automatically clear out. I will point out that I've now reached out to Matt McGloin to ask him for the exact item that was posted so that I can share it with my good friend Ron Coleman over here.
Sharing is good.
Ron, final question to you on this topic. I wanted to ask you about the difference in platforms in terms of the size of these corporations versus the little guys. And I know that you have defended a lot of people from much larger entities. Walk us through, what is it like taking on a corporation like Warner Brothers when you are, and I don't know, maybe Matt McGloin has other people, maybe his website is owned by somebody else that I'm not aware of, but it's not a big operation. What does that look like for people who are trying to defend their right to free speech, essentially?
Well, the good news is that it's not the copyright law needs a serious overhaul, but it does have some helpful tools in it. And one of them is that a wrongful takedown can blow up in your face. Now, it is true that the exposure of a wrongful takedown penalty is meaningless to these conglomerates financially. The real laboring or the real moving part, I'm looking for the right metaphor here, that's why I don't write movies and comic books, is the platform. YouTube, X, these are the guys who really make the decisions with their policies. It's not so much of a legal issue. It's really much more of a policy and enforcement issue. As bad as YouTube is, and they are terrible, again, they have created a distortion of the concept of free use and copyright. I mean, when you consider how much of YouTube is built on blatant copyright infringement, the idea that you can't excerpt, the smallest snatch or screen grab from a movie that you're reviewing is pretty preposterous. YouTube doesn't. They're smart people. Their legal department is smart. They're stubborn as hell. They also have more money than God. You should pardon the expression. They're the guys. That's really going to be where the leverage is. They don't want this to get out of control. So what it looks like is the legal pushback doesn't cost all that much because it doesn't really become drawn out litigation. It's not going to go that way. If they've got representation, I'm sure it's going to get resolved pretty soon.
Did he bounce? I'm going to get him. Ron Coleman, what are you doing? I'm ready to text him and say, get back in here. I told him to stay for 3 minutes after this.
You're Jim Gordon in all of this. I just have to say, and he's Batman.
All right, fine.
That's amazing.
He says, "Sure thing, boss," and he's gone. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I'm not. He's still in trouble. He's still in trouble because what I was going to do is this: if he was here, and if he tries to get back in, I'll let him back in to talk about this. He's in trouble because Ron is such a prolific X user. Okay, Twitter, if you will. Look at this. I have been scrolling the entire last segment, scrolling down as furiously as my finger could get us down to the bottom of Ron Coleman's X feed because I wanted to get to July 4th. And finally, it stopped at July 8th. Now, let me show you folks what that means, okay? Here's what, during that last segment, I was secretly, furiously, this is the number of tweets this man has. Since July 8th, look at this. This is what I was scrolling through. Trying to get to July 4th, which I was never successful in doing. And the reason that I wanted to somehow, some way, and I didn't even come close to halfway for you all. The reason I was trying to get to July 4th, Ron had posted the history of his family coming to the United States on July 4th, the 250th birthday. And I wanted to personally thank Ron for doing so. I read every single word of his family's history, and I found it incredible. And I was so, and still am, I mean, he's in trouble. He's not getting out of this. But I was so grateful to have the chance to understand where Ron has come from and what his family went through, going from despicable world situation to despicable world situation, and then coming to America and making America a much better country through their efforts. And of course, Ron is, just one. I mean, it's amazing his family, what all they've been involved in, what all they've done, medical breakthroughs, and working in the legal community, and just so many awesome things, and coming from absolutely nothing in just 3 generations. So, Ron, I don't know. I'm going to send this. We're going to make this into a clip, and we're going to send this to you so you feel even more badly that you weren't here for me to say such things. And then he'll say, well, I'm glad I wasn't, because But folks, if you can scroll, I don't know how you're going to do it. If you can scroll for 3 years down to July 4th and read that, it's amazing. It's how Ron, I guess, has almost 300,000 followers. I post like 4 or 5 times a day, and Ron, well, I'll tell you this. You can figure out when the Sabbath is, Jonas. Yes, when Ron Coleman is not on X.
How dare you not be here to be praised by us? How dare.
The megawatt usage drops in Princeton, New Jersey, as Ron puts down his phone for 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever. All right. Well, okay. Anyway, folks, if you can find it, go check it out. And I was hoping we could get the link for mods. I really would love for people to go read and see where Ron's crew came from. And I think it's a heck of a story of America. Jonas, we've got a story out there. It's in the super chats. Where are they at, sir?
Yep. Kaylee for $2. The Macho Madness is here. Oh, yeah.
Man,
finger gyration.
Here. Oh, yeah.
Love it. O2RR for $2.
Need a little excitement. Step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
I knew the Slim Jim was coming.
Let's see here. What do we got next? Felix, the Mad Shelby dude, for $2. Cheeseburger, and Pepsi.
No Coke, Pepsi.
What is that from?
SNL. It's Dan Aykroyd.
Okay. I went 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Does that come with a cheeseburger in paradise by any chance?
I said I want 4 fried chickens.
Oh, okay.
And a Coke.
My dad's best friend is a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And he said to me one day, he's like, I saw Jimmy Buffett in concert. I said, oh, great. Did he play both his songs?
Listen, everybody knows Sharks in the Water. Everybody plays that all the time.
God rest Jimmy Buffett's soul. That man did so much and built an empire off of so little.
Off of 2 songs. But a pirate looks at 40. It's a great song.
He's got resorts. There's resorts, a cruise ship, like everything. So restaurants.
I remember when I got like the Best of Seals CD, and I told my dad, and he's like, you already have the 2 CDs he's made, so why do you need the best? And I was like, because I need it. Okay.
Yeah. And this also relates to this tweet. Detailed level for $2. Bryce Dallas Howard, Neil Dern Goldblum, Blackbird. Yeah, because Jimmy Buffett was in Jurassic World. And also, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville was also in Jurassic World.
There you go. Hey, Caro, did you win by any chance? Did you win your step challenge you were doing last week?
I did.
How much? How much did you win by?
I won by 15,000 steps.
For folks who don't know, the last time you were on the show, you were on a treadmill and you were walking. You were moving.
I was
the whole
ready
way through.
to do it again, but I was trying to like not be too weird. Next time I'll do it.
The treadmill. This is true. The treadmill died while you were on the show. The treadmill could not go as far as you could go.
The engine got too warm and it had to stop.
But Caro just kept going. She didn't care.
I waited until it cooled down. Kept going. Can't
Stronger
stop,
than a
stop.
machine.
Yep. Juliet for £1. Thank you very much, Juliet. I said it right this time. Teddy D for $5 for the Caro song.
This is my Caro song. Whoa. Easy, people, easy. We're going to do it live. That's the super chat goal. Caro, can you sing it if we do it live? Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, folks. Super chat goal on the way. We started it late, but I think we can still hit it. We can win it today.
This is my Wild Man of Yavin for $20. Unleash the shills now that you can.
And Wild Man of Yavin, this one's for you. Paid for this to happen on TPP Live. We could not get it because the file was on a separate hard drive, and I could not get out of the seat and go do that. Wild Man of Yavin, not only will we play it, we will play it in full. We will not stop at the fist sniffer.
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what?
Let's go! Jabba, right?
Oh no! Sarlacc!
Guys, this is one of, if not my most anticipated game of the year. Anything that's got me going pew, 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 you know, sign me up.
I gotta say, the concept of this is enough for me to go, I might even pre-order it.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. No! No! Now, ascend, my son.
You know what I like, Jonas? I like how a long time ago, all the focus was on the spit take guy.
Yeah.
Who we've interacted with. I don't think he likes us, but later on we interacted with him.
No, he
doesn't. The guy who takes the cup, drinks from it, and then, and it's like, it's so obvious, it's like there's a little bucket somewhere that he spit into. He was the focus. He was the focus. We've switched now to the fist sniffer and the girl who does the, I don't know how you make your mouth go like, I mean, it's so, oh yeah, but it's so vertical.
Pew, 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 sign me up.
Pew, pew, pew. Everybody's had their time in that. We have focused at different times on the different aspects of it. And right now is fist sniffer.
The gasp girl and the pew, pew, pew girl are the same person, I believe.
That's right. It is. Sign me up. Yeah.
One of them is wearing headphones. The other is not.
My favorite is that's a Sarlacc. There's nothing Sarlaccs in everything.
Which would be like us watching Godzilla, and be like, that's the ocean. I might even get pre-tickets for this.
Watch out, guys. There might be a stormtrooper in there. Watch out. Okay.
I love it. That's my favorite one. Nobody ever brings up the wag girl.
Oh,
but she's just sitting there and she crouches back like a little T-Rex, like a baby T-Rex in her seat, and then goes, like who does that?
I love it. It's adorable. Don't change.
I love all these people. I want all these people on the show one day. They hate our guts, but I just want to get them in like a little circus and be like, all right, you do the thing. Come on, do that. Come on, please do it, please.
This has to be what
One Punch Man Tolkien fan in the chat says, Florence pew pew pew, sign me up.
One day they're going to see this clip.
That's what Kevin Feige said a couple years ago. Florence pew pew pew, sign me up.
Well, I know they're watching the show. They're saying in their heads right now, I never thought it was possible to hate this show anymore, but now I do.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, some of them have to know by this point that we play that clip constantly.
They have to know.
Well, and like the one that I also don't think gets enough love is the girl that just goes, ah, ah, ah.
My thing is, like, if you're on the internet, you can't be upset if somebody clips you. Like,
yep, fair game. Everybody's in.
Yeah,
thick skin. Here you go.
Yeah, like I'm in a couple of clips, and I'm kind of like, that's fair. I did that. Yeah. Whatever. Moving on.
I called Kevin Smith Kevin James last night. I just, sometimes you got to live with it.
That was actually kind of perfect. All right,
Paul
Teddy D for $5. Carrie, Caro needs more than 8 seconds song. Well, no, congratulations.
You got the perfect length of a song.
Yeah.
Well, we actually upgraded it. That's right.
It's 10 seconds. Teddy D for 5 more. Caro.
Listen, we'll play it. We're 12 out of 30. Come on, folks. Help us get there. And we won't just play it. We'll do it live. Right, Bill? Right? I think so. Do it live.
Do it live.
Do it live. I was wondering when he would show up. DL Racer for 5. Anyone really curious about the inappropriate messaging we're likely to see in Little House on the Prairie? I'm not curious.
I never thought that I would ever hear in my life.
Socialist paw to the rescue again.
Melissa Gilbert talks about how the show is actually woke. And I think it's the most adorable definition of woke is that, we're challenging societal norms about things we can talk about. Like, no, we really have not used that definition of woke. In like,
I would love to hear if Michael Landon could come back into the world and just hear that and go, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Dojebow for $2. Argentina football, more dramatic than a telenovela. Sorry.
Telenovela, that's right.
I got that wrong and it hurts, and I'm going to roll around on the ground crying for a little bit.
Go Argentina. I'm all about Argentina right now.
Argentina. Felix P., the Mad Shelby dude for 2. What do you call 12 shills under Disney? Nuts.
Weird.
Because she's back again, too.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. DL Racer for $5. If you haven't seen it, I would passionately recommend Mike Rowe's Something to Stand For film for the 250th birthday of America. He just had JD Vance on his podcast, and it was an interesting conversation.
Well, I've always thought politics was a dirty job.
Actually, that's one he should do for a day. Highland Haggis Trainer, member for 12. Pro, you going to ask about the missing shills?
I thought we found them all.
Encyclopedia Brown and the case of the missing shills.
Now, that's an Encyclopedia Brown book I would read.
I used to love Encyclopedia Brown when I was a kid.
Where are they? We found them.
My dad used to read them to me, and one time I got the book like earlier in the day and looked ahead at all of the how he solved it, and I guessed them all correctly, and my father thought I was like the world's greatest detective.
Well, we found the shills. They're located at a VIP event sloshed behind a corporate's desk. Yeah, that's where they were the whole time.
Oh,
yeah, I know someone who actually did the Encyclopedia Brown cookbook one day for a meal. He was a very big fan of the series.
Really?
Blah, blah, blah.
So here's a cookbook?
Yeah. Well, there was recipes in the back of one of the issues. Blah, 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 blah. For 5, 12 to 15,000 steps is about a mile based on your stride and height.
No.
Arrow literally beat them by a mile.
No, that's more than that. Add some zeros behind that.
Let's see, 12 to 15,000 steps. What would it be? Is 10,000 about a 5K?
10,000 steps is 5 miles.
Oh, 10,005 miles, not a 5K. Okay, I've got it reversed. Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I forget. Miles are longer than Ks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 miles. No, wait. It's 3.1 miles is a 5K.
3.14169 miles.
Oh, here we go again. Pie in my face.
I beat them by 6 miles, and I rub it in every morning right now. So
Flying Blind on a rocket cycle for 5. Human monies for the Carohausen song. Carohausen?
Carohausen?
I cannot wait.
Is that a Danhausen reference? Because if it is, I don't approve.
Qu'est-ce que c'est Carohausen? Wolf of McGruffle III for $5. It's a sad face.
There's only one thing that...
Is this because Pro's here now?
No, there's only one thing that makes our crowd sad these days, and that's what they've done to the summer sizzle.
It's time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
You guys are killing me. 2,000 steps. 2,000 steps is a mile. Who taught you math?
So how many miles did you go then, Carol? How many miles did you go on that day?
25.
25 miles.
1 mile is 67,000 steps. Fight me.
What?
Who's
Teeny itsy bitsy little baby, like
Yeah.
little grandma, you know. Maybe you should take smaller steps.
I'm not going to enter into this guessing game. I'm really bad with weights and measures.
Jonas, what if we bring in an expert, a mathematician, to tell us what's really going on here?
I think that's fair if we could find one.
Hello, Steve. You'll do.
Yeah. As I'm sitting here in my office, with the brick wall behind me and a bad camera.
Steve, it sounds like you are speaking into the pipe in a submarine and expecting us to hear you above the ocean. What's going on here, man?
Well, I'm trying to use headphones to do this. Is that any better?
No.
It
is equally horrible.
But Steve, also, what is this behind you? Why is there a photo of Wilton in a bride's dress?
Wilton looks so happy.
I just thought
What
it
a
would be
special
fun.
girl.
I was trying to take a cue from Jonas. Is that mic any better or no?
Oh, that's 1,000 times better. And
I can
I'll
still hear
increase
I can still hear your voice, so it's not better.
So you're putting that on me. You're
well
saying that I was the one that inspired that.
Thank you so much, Jonas, for gifting the world with that.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Welcome aboard, Steve. Happy to have you.
Thanks.
Jonas, continue on, please.
Helios for $5. Bro, the Shills as a musical keyboard to compose the next fizzle.
I think what we need to do is take the shills, the different things they do, the wah, pew, 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 sign me up. And then we can auto-tune those to different notes. And then we fizzle that. Yeah.
I think that's what Galioff is suggesting here. Yeah.
I like it. We can do this.
Yep. Texas 84 for 5. Jonas sings Caro song as Randy Newman. It wouldn't take me very long. But I
Jonas,
don't want to ruin your...
Could you sing part of the Jonas's Back song as Randy Newman? We've never done that before.
You the boy on a brownstone step.
Bump, 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 bump.
What?
I actually
hit him with the right kind of death.
Hit him with the right kind of death. Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump. No matter where he goes. Go ahead.
He walk away. Keep the soul out of his way. Jonas back. Yeah.
Had to bring him back.
Yeah.
Is that good enough?
I think we've got a clip out of that.
5, waiting for the live Caro song. Wow.
Can't wait. Caro, you may have to make up verses for this now that we're getting closer.
By the way, in Pro Show 5, that's going to be replaced by a Taylor Swift version of Jonas is Back.
I cannot imagine being asked to replace Randy Newman and saying yes. Unless it is literally for like, hey, he can't hit this note because he has that Randy Newman voice. Could you hit that one? Like, I would say yes to that and be like, okay, sure, for the legend. But actually having to replace him on songwriting? No. That's the dumbest thing to ever say yes to.
No, you need a friend, or you got a friend of me in that whole movie. Nothing at all. It's just T Swift at the end.
Wait, they don't do You've Got a Friend in Me?
Toy Story 5 does not feature You Got a Friend in Me.
Not one.
Not even a nod?
Not even a nod.
You've got no friends in anyone in that movie.
That is the
There's no friends right here.
That's like saying we're not going to do the Star Wars.
Jesse's really great. That's everything Buzz and Woody say in the entire movie is, wow, isn't Jesse great? Man, Jesse's great. I hope I don't disappoint Jesse. I love Jesse.
To infinity and Jesse.
Who is like infinity because she's so great.
She's beyond.
Floral from Under a Rock for $5. Joke. A guy pseudo-named Pro texts you. You respond. He doesn't.
I like how he gets the link to join the show at the time that he's supposed to join the show, and now he's complaining. He's like, "What's going on here? We got stuff we're doing around here. We're doing a show, Steve. We're doing a show."
You messaged me at like quarter to 12, I guess.
I meant to message you at 1:30 a.m. Eastern in the morning last night.
That's a thing.
That's perfect. Galioff for $2. Marv sounds more like a Hardy Boys mystery.
The Hardley Boys.
Was it that one comedian talking about growing up reading the wrong books? He had the Nancy Boys and the Hardy Girls. Blah 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 for $5. Okay. You're forcing me to do the mea culpa chat here. I did not mean to take away from your victory.
I do not feel like a victory has been stolen away. Carol, are you okay? You got all those steps. You won the day.
Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm perfectly fine. I'm just concerned about people's abilities to do math, and now I'm worried about public education. So that's my concern.
My ability to do math greatly diminishes when I'm live streaming. So,
Carol, there's only one thing we can do about this.
Did you go to school for math?
The way to solve public education, Carol, we're going to have to make a SCAWS. We need a tiny little rubber thing that goes around your wrist that declares public education matters. That
SCAWS?
A SCAWS.
A SCAWS?
A SCAWS.
Like Real Big Fish and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones?
I think this is going to work. We'll change education with tiny little wristbands with a message on them.
Oh, I didn't know that they were power. I thought those were just accessories you threw away.
A SCAWS for the cause.
I mean, that's the impression that I get. Detail double for $10 and $2 more. It's a double, it looks like. If instead of Odyssey making of perfect for Tropic Thunder, NDA social mediaites to be in on the joke, world premiere for critics final Wednesday, Tom Cruise equals co-director, 4 meta scenes, fold in bad marketing, inset to end credits.
That is the most efficient use of characters in a super chat I've ever seen.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Minus the triple dots. Should have went with 2 periods, not 3. We would have understood it, and you could have gained 3 additional characters.
And then we would have brought in Jack Black in those additional characters, like in Tropic Thunder.
Also, Jonas, I have consulted. Go ahead.
Isn't it funny how like that movie has so many characters in it, and we kind of forget that Jack Black was even in it.
It's one of the few things that I've like really enjoyed him in, because he doesn't like get all Jack Black about it.
Right, and he's kind of making fun of Eddie Murphy just a little bit.
Jonas, I have consulted our source for all rumors and scoops, the Prophet Jabobob, right here in my hand, Prophet Jabobob. And according to Prophet Jabobob, when I asked, would a SCOZ, a little wristband with a message, save public education, and should we do this for monetary gain? It said, of course you fool, 3 times in a row. So I think we should do this.
Okay.
It says you fool to you?
Of course.
Yours is abusive.
Yeah, I've never had an abusive Magic 8 Ball before.
It's a prophet. What are you talking about? This is no ordinary Magic 8 Ball. This is the Prophet Jabobob.
Okay. Well, I'm just
It's
saying.
quite the paganry that we're.
Here, Steve. Hang on. Let's see if I can figure out how to hand it. Here. Over Jonas's head. Steve, take it. Okay. All right, use it for a while.
That kind of thing does not go over Jonas's head.
It's going to help you with your channel. Trust me.
It smells a little bit, I just have to say. Detail doubled for $2. Thunderdolts, retitled New Avengers equals Reverse Troll. I think it's still technically Thunderbolts, although I'm more offended at the fact that they called it the Thunderbolts when it's obviously not the Thunderbolts, because General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross has nothing to do with it.
He could have.
Thunderdolts.
Yeah, he could have had something to do with it if they hadn't, taken him out in the movie right before it.
Did they take him out? No, he wasn't.
He's in prison.
Until he was in. He was in Captain America.
Yeah, that's
Brave New World. Was that before
that's-
Thunderbolts or
That's
after?
before.
It was
That's before Thunderbolts, because he's in prison during.
See, that would have been all the more reason for them to have him in that. I don't know. Let's see here. Chef Eddie for 5. Steve was right again. Ooh. And I would walk 500 miles or 804 kilometers for our metric friends.
And I would walk 500 miles or 804.672K for our metric friends. And Caro did indeed win that day.
Da-da-da.
I actually have a question. Why is it the Proclaimers are Scottish and they're talking about miles?
It's a great question.
Why don't you just ruin the 80s for us?
My brother in Australia actually went to one of their concerts, and they played their 2 songs at the very front of the concert. And after those 2 songs, everybody left.
You have a brother who cares about that? You have a brother in Australia? What is this?
Well, I had 2 brothers in Australia at one point. One is still there. The one that went to this concert is not.
Are you from Australia?
No. Their mom jacked them to Australia, where she was from, in order to separate from.
Starting to understand why you fed a live fish to children now.
Dude, I got a messed up family tree.
Part of the healing process. Feed a live fish to live fish to children. Oh, I need that. Steve, give me the profit back. I need him. Thank you. Appreciate it.
What did Kevin James feed the children?
Has Pro gone crazy?
The first Dragon Queen for 5.
Without a
Wilson's
doubt.
brother is summoned Thursday. I'll let you know when exactly he arrives. I know Caro's excited. Hugs for all. All right.
Wilton's surprised that he has family.
If Wilton had family, they would probably move to Australia as well.
Steve, I feel like after that last awkward moment, you need a hug still. Like I want to reach out and but it looks like I'm grabbing. Ooh,
It was before my time.
My hair is tough.
Really, you have a time? I wasn't aware of that. When is your time? Has it started yet?
I don't know. I mean, I got on.
I'm pretty sure his 5 minutes were up a long time ago.
I was gonna say I got a clock on 10 minutes ago. So.
Wild Man of Yavin for 5. Marvin Jonas love Wilton. They've said as such for an hour.
The record.
We were coerced with money
for charity.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
I don't know if I'm
The
ready
things that
to-
these guys won't do for money. That list is a lot smaller.
It's a lot smaller.
Yikes. I still don't know if I would be ready to say the words. Yeah, sure, we'll do one for. Anyways, Galia for $5. Most adults take approximately 2,000 to 2,500 steps to walk 1 mile, depending on height, stride length, and walking speed. Caro walked 6 2/3 miles.
Thank goodness we rounded up on the 7 at the end. A little terrifying to walk all that effort, 666 miles.
Appreciate you all looking this up. Thank you.
Yeah. And finally, detail level for $2. Ellipsis, 3 dots is 1 character. Hold down, period.
No way. You're getting,
Really?
you're so much smarter than we are about this. No, seriously, I'm not saying that facetiously. You figured out that you could do 3 dots as a single character by using the ASCII code?
That's cool.
No, wait, not the ASCII code, because you're doing, you're holding down the period on your phone, which counts as a single character when you pick the ellipses. That's freaking genius. And then you're doing the M dash with no spaces. Freaking genius. There's going to be a point where you figure out a way to remove all spaces and we'll still be able to read the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen.
He's on a whole nother level.
Whole different world.
This reminds me of like when texting first came around and we got like charged like per letter that we used. So we all learned to like speak in like code.
Carol, I've often wondered if you gave me one of those old phones, right? The flip phones, the razors, whatever. You remember how we used to be really fast at like hitting the numbers exactly the number of times? You think that would just come back like riding a bicycle? Could you just?
It does,
Would it just instantly happen?
Yeah.
The arthritis would start kicking in, though.
How fast could you go back in the day, Carol? How fast were you on that?
Farthing.
It would depend. It would depend on the situation, because if it was just a simple response, it was really quick. But if somebody needed like a longer response, I would just call them because it was cheaper.
It drove me crazy when you would get the few numbers that had lots of letters on them, and you accidentally went past that letter by one, and you had to do it over again. You're like, darn you! I'm trying to go fast right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Well, the best part about the T9 was that you could send messages without looking at your phone.
Yes.
But then what about MSN when you would change your font color to white so that no one could actually read your text except for your friends? So you copy and paste each other's things, and there'd be like that one kid that was on the out.
What is wrong with you?
What?
What is
You guys
wrong
didn't
with you?
do that in the group messages?
This is 100% a thing that only you have ever done.
It's just like common practice.
Super secret fan friend club that sends all of their messages with the same background color and same text.
You guys never did
font
whiteout
color.
texting? What up?
This sounds like when they did those charts to tell parents what all the kids were texting, that they just went into your phone to look at what you were texting.
Well, now I'm wondering what Steve's got written on that white background behind him.
Me too. I think this is the plot to a Wilton movie where Wilton's big devious plan is to change all of the fonts to the same color as their backgrounds on the internet.
I just have to say that what Steve is saying is dark and weird, but not like Weird Darkness official, who gifted $100 to say, "Wow, just because."
Well, you know what? Just because we're gonna click the button, see what happens.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
They're both gone.
Oh,
that was a magic trick. Good job.
I've never had it remove me before. Weird Darkness, this is for you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Jonas, I think we can finally afford to put capes on the little hamsters.
Thank you, Weird Darkness.
We can finally afford it.
Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. It takes me just a few steps to walk many miles, just enough to get in my car. You know, Fat
There you
Albert
go.
had a Cessna airplane engine in his car. Blah, blah, blah for $5.
That's the worst
Testing the no space theory. Shake the magic 8-ball for the answer. The magic ice ball.
Hang on. It's actually kind of hard to see it. Concentrate and ask
Where did
again.
Pro
What am
go?
I asking about? Oh, sorry.
Where's Pro?
Hang on.
Oh, Pro, there you are.
Hi, everybody.
Who are you and what have you done with bro?
Do you know the practical reason for the sunglasses, Caro?
No, I'm just.
So the practical reason is if I look anywhere near the camera with the glasses on, it looks like I'm staring straight at the audience, which is the right thing to do, and we want that to be the thing. But if I don't have the glasses on, then anywhere my eyes are looking, unless I look straight on at the camera, you're like, why is he not looking at the camera? What's going on here? Anyway,
I wear them just because it makes me look cool.
I just wish you'd stop at night. It's too much.
Yep. Miravita for 5. Steve, you're definitely not alone. Look out, Steve. You're definitely not alone. We use whiteout text constantly.
The voice is in my head till it
Although I can read what you're saying, Miravita, so I'm not sure I agree with that.
Crumbopulous Michael like hanging from the ceiling. Oh boy, here I go killing again.
I really do think now, the more I think about this, the more I believe we should send a Prophet Jabobob Magic 8 Ball to Steve and give it custom answers that are completely deranged just to see what happens to him over time.
Well, no, because then he's going to be like, how can I improve my YouTube channel? And it's just going to break.
Indeed it shall be, says the Prophet Jabobob.
Yep. Smith and Sons for $2. Wish I could give more. Thank you for the laughs.
Hey, we try. Smiles and laughs, and guess what? Sometimes we stumble upon the truth with a capital T. Thank you, Smiths and Sons.
No promises, right? Let's see. What do we got here? Tubular Bra for $2. Als.org, Skaz on wrist. Car gave fam 18 years.
You know what? From a name like Tubular Bra, this is exactly what I'm waiting for. Tubular.
That was one of my favorite levels in Super Mario World. Mike D for 501. I held down the period. It didn't work as hoped. Well, he got you.
That's right. I blew all my characters on that idea. Folks, we are 4 away. 4 away. 3 away from Caro Song Live.
Wild Man of Yavin for $5. Never forget Ron Coleman came on the pro show and admitted to being a DJ in the 1980s. Yeah, we're going to have to look into that. A New Jersey DJ.
You know, it'd be cool.
DJ Ronnie C.
Coming to you from Roughside SCOTUS with the latest hits. What we need to do is we need to go find a clip of Ron Coleman as a DJ. There's got to be a way to get that and play it the next time he comes on.
That would be fantastic.
At the beginning, because he will smoke bomb away before we can play it at the end.
Teddy D for $2. Wait, $5. Two.
Fitty D. All right. I feel like we should just give the audience what they want. I mean, we are 2 away. It's going to happen. We will not go to the next segment, folks. We know it's going to happen. All right, there we go. We have hit the goal. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonas, put them on the screen, please.
Teddy D for $5 says 1. And for some reason, it's on my screen twice. And when I highlight one, it highlights both. But that's just me. And Kalioth for $5. Tubular Bra. Was that Moose Speak from Monty Python and the Holy Grail intro?
Hey, Rocky, want to see me pull out a tubular bra?
Moose Speak.
I don't think that lady enjoyed that, Bullwinkle.
I know. I have been hit with a court order restriction to stay away from her.
That's something.
Here's something we think you'll really like.
Yep. And then Chef Eddie for $5 pro. If you wanted to know about copyright strike, why don't you ask Steve?
Yes, yeah. Steve. Tell us all about the copyright strikes you send out, Steve.
I don't do it, but I do forewarn people that it could be a reality in which they live.
Hey, Pro, you definitely need to play this song that I made. You'll love it. 12 hours later, copyright strike. From who? Floral from Under a Rock. Steve. Ooh, Steve.
It was $34 and you forgave me. Let it go.
Why did you do that, by the way? That was.
I warned him to only play it for like 8 seconds because it's gonna copyright strike him, and he played the whole thing. He made his choice.
Do you know how the smile on his face? The smile on his face when he saw that he could hit somebody with a copyright was mean. He went, "This is gonna be great," as his fingers slowly made its way down. Ooh, Steve!
It was science, I tell you.
Wild Man of Yavin for $5. 1.
And I think we now have hit the goal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Caro Brown intro song live. But before we do so, should we listen to it so everybody knows how it goes? It's a very intricate song. Okay.
This is my Caro song. It is 8 seconds long.
Now, Jonas has tried to escape because he has to go, and that's okay. But Jonas, you get your little tail back in here because, Jonas, you got to sing the song too. You don't get out of this one.
I thought are we? How are we planning on doing this? Because it's not like StreamYard is going to sync us all up here.
I'm going to just dance around like one of the little books.
Okay, Jonas, could you bobble your little Goodwill Hunting Jonas figure? Bobble it when we sing.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Steve, just be you, man. What?
Oh, don't ask him to do that.
All right. No, that's what he's going to do. Caro, we need it. It's time for you to sing the Caro song live. If you have additional lyrics, even if it goes 7 minutes, it's okay with us. But when you're ready, it's time for Caro live. Let's get Bill in on this. Bill,
Do it live!
We're ready.
Oh my goodness. This is my Caro song. It is going to be more than 8 seconds long. Okay, done. That's what you get.
Could you do it one more time, maybe in like reverse, so it's really impressive?
No, you got 11 seconds. You're done.
This is my Caro song. It is 8 seconds long.
Did you notice how Jonas walked out of his?
Yes, that's coming.
And then left.
Marv, what would your rendition be of the Caro song live? How would you sing it?
This is my Caro song. It is 8 seconds long.
Little Van Halen there.
Grunge place, yeah.
Yeah. Steve, what do you got? How would you sing it?
Oh, how would I change it up? This is my Caro song. It's 8 seconds long.
She does write a heck of a country song. We learned that with Lauren and the AI.
Love it. We've broken Caro now.
Oh no, Lauren broke the AI's heart.
If you leave me unattended, I will make all kinds of shenanigans.
You were attended during those moments.
No. See, because what happened is you were talking to somebody else, and then I went off.
All right, folks. Well, we do appreciate you helping us get there. And, well, I hope it was worth it. The Caro song performed live.
I hope it was worth it.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should talk about the next big story. And the next big story is what's going down with Disney. And, well, we might just say Disney's going nowhere. That's the problem. Josh tomorrow has a big task in front of him because now we know when they're going to be doing their next earnings report. Problem is, there's nothing good to report for Disney. It's not just Moana. It's also that, you know what? That stock has been stuck for like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 years. Let's talk about it. Switching gears, back to the news right now for you. The Walt Disney Company has a stuck stock. That's the latest we've got for you, and it's not the greatest of all time. No, Disney is performing terribly, even if some don't want to say so. How long has Disney been sitting at somewhere around $96.54? Well, as opposed to the rest of the market, Disney has been here, ladies and gentlemen. If we go back in time, we have to go all the way back to January of 2015. This stock, except for when Bob Chapek took over, briefly, that's the Bob Chapek rise. See that right there? Bob Chapek. Except for that, Bob Iger has been stuck, and now Josh tomorrow the same. Ooh, there's red. At 96, somewhere thereabouts, for 11 years. And now, investors are unhappy. How unhappy are they? Well, they're so unhappy that according to Bloomberg, we've got major analysts saying Disney needs to drop all of their streaming business. And that might actually cause a 40% increase for Disney. Now, we've covered this, folks. We're not going to recover it, but I just want to say, when they start talking about, hey, Disney, you need to get rid of Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, we are at a time now where investors, they're done with this. They're sick of this. This is not how other companies perform. In fact, folks, if we were to type in the S&P 500, let's see here, S&P 500, let's try this, okay? S&P 500 maximum. It looks nothing like Disney. This is just the top 500 companies publicly traded in the United States. If we go back to 2015, January, it was at it was under 2,000. It's at 7,500. This is what Disney should be doing. If Disney had just stayed with the rest of the market, Disney would be at like $300 per share. Investors are sick of this. So, Josh D'Amaro has a huge problem on his hands. Now we're finding out the date has been revealed for Walt Disney's third quarter 2026 financial results. I think this is going to be a very hard meeting for them. It's going to take place August 5th. Of course, we'll cover it live, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It'll be on Valiant Renegade first, then go over to us. It'll be archived after the broadcast concludes, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. But August, we're here now. The honeymoon is over for Josh D'Amaro, and hard times have arrived. How bad is it? Well, while at the same time, investors are telling Disney that they need to drop all of their streaming, which they've invested something like $100 billion in. Take a look at the wait times for Disney World, which we correlate with crowd levels, a.k.a. attendance, a.k.a. tickets sold. We are currently in July. This July is right now, according to ThrillData.com, the lowest month we have seen since the return of the lockdowns. Do you remember when California and Nevada and some of the places where New York were relocking down in 2021 for just about a month or two? You remember what that did? That cratered Disney, of course, again. Well, that little mini lockdown that happened, we have to go back to then to find a month that has been this uncrowded. Now, Disney World has been the thing that's been sustaining Disney throughout all of their difficulties. When Snow White bombs at the box office, when Tron Ares does not go well, what saves Disney? What keeps them going? When Disney Plus loses Mando, when they throw everything away with Gina Carano. When this happens, what saves Disney? Disney World. Disney World is by far the biggest profit generator for the Disney company, and now what we're seeing is a collapse, because I'll show you one more thing about this. If we go back to the prior leased months, they're always September and October. September and October. Never July. If July is already down here, we are still 2 months away from whatever the low is going to be. Are we going to be back in the pandemic levels of crowds this year? I don't know. But if that happens, this company's in deep trouble. We'll start off with Marv on this one. Marv, your thoughts on where Disney is today and the fact that investors are now freaking out. I don't know any other way to put it when the investors say jettison Disney Plus. That is a freak out.
When I read that Hollywood Reporter article about that Wall Street advisor who was basically saying jettison this and you'll see a 40% bump in your stocks, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense, because they could pay to produce all this programming and then license it out to Netflix and clean up, and then Netflix assumes all the risk. And it would be perfect. The problem here being that they would never ever do that, because at this point they would be admitting making a mistake, Pro. And as we all know, the Walt Disney Company has never made a mistake ever in its entire history. So yeah, they're not going to hit the eject button on Disney Plus. I think it's a prestige thing for them, but they have to do something, because since they started this Disney Plus experiment, their stock has remained completely stagnant. It has not grown or shrank with the market. It just basically stays right where it is. And that's a huge problem for investors. Like, obviously when you're putting together an investment portfolio, you're looking for stocks that will grow over time. This is not a stock that will grow over time. And it's had 11 years to do something meaningful, and it hasn't done anything. So yeah, if I'm an investor, I'm not looking to get Disney. No financial advice given here, but it's a dead stock.
Steve, the other thing about this is, so this was a huge gamble by Bob Iger. They gambled $100 billion, we estimate, in total investment into Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. The fact that the stock has stayed in the same place, essentially, and we'll get that back up in just a second, the stock. But the fact that it stayed there, that doesn't mean that it stayed at the same place, actually. Because with inflation, and there's been tremendous inflation over the last 11 years, with inflation, what that means is that the stock is actually worth far less than it was. It's just hidden because inflation doesn't make you realize each of one of those dollars is worth less today than it was 11 years ago. So this is actually much, much worse for Disney than it seems immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the investor type. I've never been into that, because
You did own a piggy bank once when you were 5 years old.
It's true.
Did not go well for the piggy.
No, but like when I see it, I just think this is this is insane because, as you said, like inflation is a real thing. So, like, it is literally worth about 3/4 less than what it was 11 years ago at the same dollar value, which is quite insane. But my question is for you guys is, at what point are the media or the investors going to start asking legitimate questions? Because they never asked Bob Iger the real questions. They never actually pushed him on the things that were breaking or falling apart. But is that going to start to change now that's DeMauro? And is DeMauro going to be the actual fall guy? Because at this
Marv's got a great answer. Marv's got a great answer for this.
I mean, look, they couldn't ask Bob Iger questions because Bob Iger was curating the questions. They were pre-selected questions.
Oh, yeah, no, and I remember that. So that's the key. But I mean, like the other 3 investor calls throughout the year, right, where the Goldman Sachs guys would all call in and ask their superficial questions. Was Iger curating those questions as well? I don't think.
I believe so, right, Pro? Like, didn't we believe that they had pre-approved the questions, or was that not?
So let me put it this way. So if you go back in time like 6, 7, 8 years, Disney was so confident that when they would do their shareholders meeting, they would like get a giant venue and all the top brass would be there on stage and the shareholders would come and it was like a giant celebration. And then by the time that they ended this, all the questions were not just curated, but were being read by like a robot AI system. And that's because about 3 years ago, Bob Iger started getting questions that he didn't like and he didn't know how to answer. And it was obvious. And we were on with Valiant Renegade when it happened. And we said, we can't believe, like Bob Iger, audibly angry and confused and stumbling and no idea what to say. And a lot of that centered around what they had done with Florida and the attacks that they made against the state of Florida and their efforts to undermine legislation that was at least ostensibly, intended to protect kids. So the company's made a lot of huge mistakes. And I want to show this to you, Caro, if you don't mind. So I've showed the S&P 500 versus Disney, and it's dramatically different. And so if you just invested in anything else, although we're not giving financial advice, anything else, you'd be much better off. But what if you'd picked a winner? Caro, if you'd picked a winner instead of Disney, back when we're talking about, NVIDIA was worth less than $1. And today it's worth $212. NVIDIA in this time frame, the same time that we're looking at Disney, where it's been stalled, NVIDIA is up 530,000%. So if you picked a winner, you'd be doing really darn well. And I know NVIDIA is probably the most poignant example I can bring up, but this is why investors are tired. This is why investors are saying, even the big ones, even the ones who invested the 401ks into Disney and all that sort of thing, they're even fatigued with this, saying, okay, something dramatic has to change. We can't keep floating you.
I mean, that's just what happens when you have stocks, right? When you open up the company that way, that's the risk. And when you're not making money, yeah, you're going to get asked the tough and hard questions. And, trying the whole thing with Double Bogey Bob, like trying to change questions so that way he could save face on the stage is absolutely ridiculous because that doesn't change the questions that people want to ask or the answers that they're looking for, right? And I think part of the reason the stocks are diving the way that they are is I hate saying this phrase, just like I hate saying modern lens, but it is a multifaceted issue, right? Because a lot of those dips that we see in the stock are also when they did mergers. And if there's one thing that usually happens with mergers, the stocks will go down because they're finding all the weeds that the other company that they merged with are popping up and problems that they have to solve and whatnot. So they usually end up making an investment in a bad product that they have to figure out how to make money from at that point. But you've also got, obviously, from what you're sharing here, we have lower attendance. I don't see as many children in this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I always point this out every time. I'm like, where are the children? Where's your future customers at? Like, how are you going to bring more people into the park that aren't just going from one bar to another bar to another bar to another bar? Because that's really children. Okay. Because that's really my question, because if you want to keep thriving, you have to make things that people want to go and enjoy, not just for adults, but kids too. And I think it was Jonas who mentioned earlier that when the live action Moana came on, like his kids had zero interest in it.
Yeah, and I think Moana 2 killed the interest in that franchise. Marvin, I want to go to you for the final word on this. The thing that has saved Disney month after month, year after year, and at least kept them treading water, been two things. Walt Disney World and Disney Cruises. Now, Disneyland does okay, but nothing is on the level of those two things. Disney World and Disney Cruises has given investors hope, whereas the streaming stuff is not. If we're starting to see the fall of Disney World in terms of attendance, and I think we are, what's going to happen with this company now?
I mean, they're going to have to change the way they do things in the parks. They're going to have to do something to bring the average Joe and Jane back into the parks. Possibly bringing back some of the things that people, some of the reasons why people are, missing it. And at the end of the day, that might include lowering some of the prices and making it more affordable to go, because you can get that volume in there and end up making more money with lower prices. So it's just whether or not they're willing to backtrack, which historically, not their strong suit. They do not like to backtrack on a decision once it's been made. But again, this is a new, for the first time second time technically, but like really the first time in, 20 something years, we've got a new captain at the helm of the ship. And maybe Josh D'Amaro will have a little more humility than Bob Iger did.
Let's hope surviving as CEO is important enough to him to get away from the modern message and switch back to what people really want. And trust me, it's not Tiana's Trash Mountain. It's not Destroying Rivers of America. It's not live action remakes that look like they were muddied in the waters of CGI and you can't tell what's going on screen. Just give people what they want. Just give them Luke Skywalker. Just give them cool superheroes. Just give them kids content like Bluey that doesn't divide families and force folks to talk about things they don't want to with their 3-year-old. Disney, this is easy. Investors, this is simple. Get back to what works. Get back to Uncle Walt. The live-action Moana is such a disaster, it's making people question, are live-action Disney films dead in the water? Over Tangled and Lilo and Stitch 2 might be it. The Wrap has this one. It's Adam Chitwood as Moana whiffs. Is Disney's live-action remake strategy dead? In just a minute, we'll tell you how much money this is losing, but it's a lot. And it might be causing Disney, even with Tangled, which is just now entering production this week, to say, hold up. What did we do wrong, and how do we never do this again? It says it's a tough break for Disney as the live-action Moana crashed at the box office this weekend with $43 million, opening against a budget of around $300 million. Internationally, it did not fare much better with just $52 million, wide open to last year. And folks, if we adjust for inflation, it's not, which ended up grossing a mere $87 million domestically. Now, if Moana can't top 100, that would be shocking. I mean, we're already in shocking territory, but that would be shocking. It says, so what happened? The decision to make a live-action Moana seemed like a sound one. The animated 2016 film is one of the most streamed movies on Disney+. By the way, it's disappeared now after the sequel. We've talked about that, though. The Disney flywheel kicked into gear. To greenlight a live-action redo that would bring Dwayne Johnson back as Maui, and the Disney Plus team would simultaneously make a sequel series for the streaming service. And I'm going to tell you that's not true. It took them 10 years to do anything, right? We got a sequel based on a TV show that was crap, that destroyed the franchise. And now here we are with a live action 10 years later. This didn't kick into gear. This was Bob Iger at the end of his tenure as CEO trying to find some way to lift up the stock. And they said, what do we got? Well, our biggest girl brand, Moana, let's Star Wars and Marvel that. And they did. It goes on to talk about all of this and where it compares to what they've had in the past. The Lion King, which really isn't live action. It's CGI, but what have you. Folks, here's the problem for them. The amount of money they're about to lose on Moana is insane, and Anthony D'Alessandro is breaking this down. Although they get the numbers wrong, we can parse out what the truth is. It says that Moana is on track to lose 100 to 125 million. That's bunk. I'll explain why, because their own numbers give it away. Let's dive in, and I'll tell you what's happening here. We're going to scroll down to where it matters. It says, sources tell us that Moana, which arrives in theaters less than 2 years after the $1 billion plus grossing animated hit Moana 2, the franchise killer, that's what we'll call that now, Bob Iger's franchise killer, stands to lose between 100 and 125 million in the title's first cycle after a $95 million worldwide opening. Okay, come on down. Let's figure out how much is it really going to lose. It talks about Snow White. Snow White performed better if you adjust for inflation. So what's going on? Okay, the deep sixing of the musical Island Princess and Demigod Maui in the Flesh rendition boils down to, yes, an exorbitant cost at $250 million before prints and ads, aka marketing. The estimation they have on marketing is 145. Okay, so 145. Marv, you got a calculator? I'm not going to make you do the math live, but if you've got a calculator, if you could add 250 and 145, I can tell you what it'll add up to. It's almost 400, 5 million less. But if you could get the calculator ready, 395 is going to be the total.
Million, yeah.
395 is the total spend on Moana. Now, folks, what you know and what I know that means, and they never tell us the marketing spend, so I'm glad they did here. What that means is this movie essentially needs $800 million to break even. Because 395 plus, well, times 2, because they only get half back. So we got to multiply it by 2 for the break even. 395 gets them almost exactly on $800 million for the break even. So how's it going to perform? Let's go down. Let's see. Talking about Spider-Man, Supergirl. Yeah, it's going to be worse than Supergirl. Where is it at? Where do they give us the how much it's going to lose? Lin-Manuel Miranda, we don't care. Relish Mix, don't care. Okay. It's somewhere in here. What they try to say, we'll go back to the headline because I was expecting them to explain the headline. Maybe they don't. They're saying that it's going to lose $100 to $125 million. Now, here's how they're coming up with that number, because I don't know if you all have figured this out yet, but if it costs $800 million to make, or for the break even, if it's $800 million to break even, and you might end at 250, that's way worse than 100 to 125. So here's how they're doing this, guys. My belief on this 100 to 125 million is what they're suggesting is that after the box office is done, okay, everybody listen, because you can understand how they play these games. After the box office is done and it ends at like 200, okay, and that's 600 million short of the break even, which by the way, Disney only takes half that hit, right? So $300 million loss at that point. The way they're getting it down to 100 to 125, I believe, is that they're going to claim that Disney will sell Moana, the live action remake, to Disney. Now, they're not saying that, but the way this works is the production company that makes Moana is not going to sell Moana to Netflix. It's not going to sell it to Warner Brothers. It's not going to sell it to cable channels. They're going to sell it to Disney Plus, which inside Disney is a separate company. And therefore, Marv, Caro, Steve, therefore, because they're going to sell it to another business, but that business exists inside Disney, therefore it didn't lose $300 million because Disney Plus bought it for 100 or 150 or whatever they're going to pay for it.
Yep.
And they hide the fact that all of these companies are owned from Disney. So what they're really doing is when they say, well, actually it made this much money, they're not telling you that they took money from this hand, they put it in this hand, and then claimed, oh, well, we made money. No, you didn't. You just shifted the money and then hit it in the headline. That's the game here, I believe. And this is why it's so bad that they're saying, we may not make any more of these now.
Well, so it's funny. I actually find the comparison with Snow White, the fact that it finished for the weekend just about even with Snow White, to be fascinating. Because here you have two movies that performed exactly the same, that made the exact opposite mistakes of one another. Snow White changed everything from the settings to the music to the characters' primary motivations to the supporting cast. All of it. Nothing in Snow White was the way it was in the movie. Whereas Moana changed nothing. And as I said many times, the opposite of a mistake is not a correction, is oftentimes just another mistake, because they swung so in the other direction. What people want out of these live action remakes is not a shot-for-shot remake of something that they already have, especially something that's not just 10 years old. What they want is, and while I don't love Emma Watson, I think Beauty and the Beast was kind of the perfect storm for this, because it hit all of the original songs, it hit all of the original points, but it added on to them. Because back in the early 90s and in the 80s, children's programming, there wasn't a whole lot of thought given into the story for these things, because they thought that we as kids just didn't care. We did. We cared a lot. We would talk about it on the playground ad nauseum. Like, how does nobody know there was a prince? Like, what happened to Mr. Potts? And they resolved all those plot holes in Beauty and the Beast. That's why you do a live action remake, because you're able to actually present the nostalgia, but also give something else. And I think that is the problem. They got way too arrogant after Lilo and Stitch, and they did not realize, why Lilo and Stitch did as well as it did. It's because of Stitch. because Stitch has never gone away. Stitchomania never ended. Go into any Target, any Walmart, any Disney store today. There will be Stitch merchandise on the shelf. That is the only Disney character other than like Mickey Mouse that always has something on the shelf.
He's cute. He's cute. Miga Nana Krista, right?
Yep.
I want to kind of push back though, because I think the Stitch was after we had already been like criticizing the remakes, right? Because Stitch was a blip on the radar, where it was just like, whoa, what happened?
Well,
And
so after
so
Snow
it
White,
should-
after Snow White, they thought that, oh, this is not going to work. Let's cancel Tangled, and then Stitch made $1 billion. And
Right,
they're
they
like,
brought
oh, never
Tangled
mind.
back.
It's not the strategy. Sorry, Steve. What were you saying?
But also it's like the difference is at least Lilo and Stitch was a bit of fun, right? Whereas like all the other remakes aren't as much. So I think that it created like a blip on the radar that gave them hope and a resurgence. But still, like all of these movies were all in production long before Lilo and Stitch ever came out. Like we've been hearing about the Tangled remake for probably close to 3-4 years now, and so we knew it was coming out. We thought that there was going to be some DEI casting for it, but anyway, go ahead.
It was coming out. It had been announced, but after Snow White, they canceled it.
Now, I do want to say, Caro, that...
and they brought it back after Lilo and Stitch, sorry.
Caro, in terms of losses, I do want to clarify. This is not going to lose, even if it underperforms Snow White. This is not going to lose as much money as Snow White. Because Moana, they're reporting that at what? What did they say? 250, 245? Was it 250? They said on the production budget is, and we don't believe that's the actual cost. It's the budget. What was it they did? Where's it at here? 250. There you go. $250 million, what they're declaring. No, that's the global box office. Anyway, 250 is what they're declaring. There it is. 250. Well, good grief, the ad. 250 is what they're declaring on the before P&A production cost, and then 145 on the global spend on the production. So that's how we get to the 395. But Caro, Snow White actually cost like $350 million because they shot the film 3 times. So we're nowhere. It's impossible for it to lose Snow White money. But the fact that they have 2 Snow Whites, the fact that Snow White outsold this tickets wise, I think has them freaked out, and I think they should be freaked out. And they don't have the ability to make new stuff is the problem. Every new thing they create is less than the stuff they used to make.
Well, I just think people just don't have faith in them anymore. I mean, nobody wants to see it. Nobody's excited about it. When you guys were talking about Leo and Stitch, I decided to do some quick market research and see how many Funko Pops of Stitch there were. There's 12, right? Like, what other Disney character has that many different variations of Funko Pops? It's because everybody likes that character, right? And Moana was a fun film. If you like a different version of Pocahontas being told with a different ethnic group, like, sure, it's great. But I mean, why? Like, it's this thing about sequels continues to grate on my nerves slightly because we don't need sequels. And if we are going to do the sequel, I'd say that we should probably do it the way that we used to do it with like Old Beauty and the Beast, where we would have like, like the cartoon TV movie specials that would expand on certain things. The Spirit of Christmas, Finding Lost Things, Clean Your Room, stuff like that. Like, make it for kids, right? And for some reason, I get like the impression that these live action remakes are being done to address commentary, I guess, from adults when they watch this. And I don't really think that's their target audience, honestly. Although I am enjoying, I guess that this must be her daughter. That's kind of a fun thing to see.
No, it's her little sister. And Carol, what they did is, like last year, 18 months ago, they released a TV show, but they cut out all the middle episodes. So you had the 2 first episodes and the last 2 episodes. They smushed all that together into a movie, and they released that as a sequel. But it's a crappy, terrible TV show. And so it was a crappy, terrible sequel. They didn't actually make a sequel the way that you traditionally would. And now I think they're even worried about putting out Moana 3. I think they're actually worried. And this was the number 1 girls brand on the planet.
3. We don't need a Moana 3. And I'm actually really disappointed to hear that that's
you're going to get Frozen 7.
I don't need that either.
The thing is, though, this is how they've been making their sequels lately. It's the exact same thing they did with The Mandalorian, right? They just take the episode, smush it together because they're like, oh, the thing on Disney Plus, that's not going to work. Let's put it in the movie in theaters instead, so it fails and everyone can see the numbers. Well, it's ridiculous. But the other thing though that goes through my mind is like they opened the Way of Water attraction in the parks, right? And that thing has been
splash pad.
Has been a dumpster fire right from the get-go. Think about the attention that this is going to add to the dumpster fire of a quote unquote ride, which I have a friend who went to the parks and she thought as she was going through the queue for the Way of Water, she's like, oh, we're walking up to a ride. And she realized, no, we're just literally looking at things.
Just a splash pad.
It was. Yeah.
Just a splash pad.
Because she thought that like everyone was just kind of taking their time looking at all the little things, not realizing like, no, this is the thing.
So there you go, folks. The Bob Iger strategy has destroyed the franchise, taking it from the #1 thing in the world, most viewed movie year after year after year. Marv, wrap us up here. Your final thoughts on what they've done to Moana, and should they end their live action efforts outside of Stitch and Tangled?
They had a wonderful thing going with Moana. They had an incredible story, an incredible first movie, the best movie they've made in the modern age. But the problem was they got greedy with it. The fact that Moana 2 made as much money as it made shows that there was still a hunger for more Moana because people loved it so much. But it flies in the face, and the entire remake strategy flies in the face of Walt Disney's philosophy. And that's what you have to always remember when it comes to things like this. Walt Disney did not want sequels. He did not want remakes. When he was asked after Three Little Pigs if he was going to do more with the Three Little Pigs, his response was famously, you don't follow pigs with pigs. And you have to constantly be doing something new. He did not like sequels, and now this company under Bob Iger became the sequel and remake company. And you know, people are not waiting around to see what classic you're going to reimagine next. They just want the next classic, and that's where they have to put their focus. But with the creatives that they have working for them right now, I don't know if that's possible.
A Disney company, Pigs After Pigs Incorporated.
You know, I was stopped one day when the little boy asked, do you draw Mickey Mouse?
No! It can't be! What is it? It can't be! What did you do, Ray?
And I had to admit I do not draw anymore.
No more!
Well, then you think up all the jokes and ideas. No, I said I don't do that. Finally, he looked at me and said, Mr. Disney, just what do you do? Well, I said, sometimes I think of myself as a little bee.
That's right. They've turned him into Colonel Sanders now. He'll sell the chicken. He'll sell the chicken. Turn him into a robot. DL Racer 5, it hasn't done anything, talking about the Disney stock, since they fired Gina Carano and tried to ruin her life.
That's something.
It's people have said doing what they did to Gina was $1 billion, at minimum, damage to the company. Caveat times for 2, treading water, more like bobbing, in the water. That's right, double bogey bob in the water. Burnouts for 5, what would justify a 3-hour film to you? Michael Bay Transformers are criticized for being too long, yet those disloyal to source material made billions. Indeed, I got to say, I'm not looking forward to the Odyssey that I got to review in 2 days because I got to sit through 3 hours of the thing. You add in the previews and all that kind of stuff, get in the theater, it's a 4-hour endeavor. I think it's going to hurt it.
I asked Wizard the other day, I said, do you think we can request that they play it in 1.5 times speed?
Go to the, that's not a bad idea at the counter.
Can I push back on that Michael Bay thing? Because the fact that like Transformers had already had like 4 different iterations in the cartoons up to that point. So when Michael Bay came out with his own creative story, that's fine. The disrespectful part was the designs, those disgusting designs that they were. That's my word.
Well, and you know, Shia LaBeouf only had one word that he said over and over in the film. No. Go watch the highlights of him saying no. It's insane. Detailed Devil for $4.99. Not just studios equal dumb. When give or take 20% of theater scenes, which equals CinemaScope, but are used for flat/Academy movies, so half of the screen equals black, makes you prefer home theater.
Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
Bro, what do you? This is what I had said about the Odyssey box office earlier. I want to see what you think about it. I'm looking at the theaters around me, and I'm seeing a lot of very full or close to full IMAX theaters.
Mhm.
The regular showings in the regular theaters are empty, and I mean 4 tickets sold.
You cannot.
Can a movie hit $1 billion with just IMAX theaters?
A movie cannot live on IMAX alone. That's going to be my taking of that. But they say it's going to make $1 billion, as you guys covered early. They say it's going to make $1 billion. They say it's going to be bigger than Oppenheimer. We'll find out. Does a backlash beat the expectations of Wall Street? Interesting indeed. Steve, tell the folks out there about Floral from Under a Rock and what demented things you're preparing to do, sir.
So right now because I've been working on software stuff for churches. So church-journey.com. That's what I've been working on. So I've given very little attention to puppets.
Say it again, Steve. The folks out there, they didn't hear that. Say it one more time slowly.
Church-journey.com. So if you're a pastor or a leader in a church, it's an onboarding tool meant for you that is practical and will not kill you in times and resources.
It's meant to help you when you have a new person show up, a visitor, a congregant, whatever. It's meant to help you make sure that they don't fall through the cracks and they didn't get somebody to contact them and say, we enjoyed seeing you here, that sort of thing, right?
Amen.
Amen. Okay, go ahead.
But otherwise, Irate has been working his butt off on the channel, and I really appreciate that guy. I'm going to give him more of the shout out. We all give him a hard time because of White Horse and all the stupid YouTube channels or characters or emails that he's created over the years. But he's been a rock star. So if you see him, tell him kudos, because he's a wonderful guy doing a lot of work on the channel.
Steve, are we playing Fortnite tonight on that game place?
So long as it's after 10:15 p.m., should be good.
10:15 p.m. Eastern tonight, folks. Join us on that game place for Fortnite. Marv, am I impeding on a stream you already have?
No. I was actually wondering if I should stream before you guys and then forward into you. But
that sounds great to me. You're welcome to join us as well in Fortnite if you'd like. But just know that Steve will purposefully try to drive vehicles over trees, jump out, land in them. Not so that he actually ends the life of any other Fortnite enemies, but just so he can look cool and mock you into, saying so.
No, I
do what you got to do.
Marv,
what's coming up on your channel, please?
Well, first of all, before I get to my channel, please, guys, subscribe to that game place if you've not already. As you're just saying, Pro's going to be playing Fortnite tonight. I have been playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced over there. We did 4 streams of that last week, and it was a whole lot of fun. So make sure to go, check that out. But also on my channel, the M4 Empire, we are doing a daily live stream at 10 a.m. every morning, Monday to Friday, and putting out 3 videos a day. So we already have one out today on Christopher Nolan claiming that you and your Odyssey backlash is irrelevant. He actually used that word. He said that it's irrelevant. So go check it out. We got another one coming out a little later today on Variety and their double standard between Moana and the Odyssey when it comes to cultural representation. And then we're going to close with one about the fact that Avengers Doomsday is a hideous mess behind the scenes. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 with another episode of M4cast AM.
Now, Carol, I'm going to dramatically remove my shades to have a talk with you.
Who are you? Where's Pro?
Caro, there's a website out there that you never told me about.
Oh, there is?
carobrown.com.
Oh, yeah, I have a website.
You never told me about it.
I'm sorry.
What's going on with this? All the things we've talked about, all the stuff we put on the screen for you. Are you telling me that carobrown.com is the place to go for everything Caro?
Yeah, that is my hub spot, if that's where you guys want to go and find anything.
Can we put the song on the website? Can we have it play so that people, when they visit this while they're working, obnoxiously plays at 100% volume? Yeah, this is my Caro song.
I will do it for you. I will put the song on the website for you.
That's what I've always wanted. That's what I've always wanted. Caro, tell the folks out there, what all you got here? What is this?
This is pretty much anything that I write. You should be able to find it here and then buy it from wherever I'm hosting it at. So whether it be on Amazon or Rippaverse or Ripasend, it's all right there, except for the Caro song. I'm really sorry, guys. I'll put it up there really soon.
We're gonna fix it.
I'm gonna fix it right now.
Carol, what is the book that is going towards charity? Is it featured here?
No, it is not. That is on my laundry list of things to do. This website is run by one woman, and that one woman is me, so I don't always update it when I need to. But if you guys go to ripasend.com, you will find Tales from Twisted Ravens on there. And Tales of Twisted Ravens is a book where I am raising money for comic books for kids, so that way they can get comic books into hospitals and cancer centers where children are receiving treatment at. All proceeds are pretty much going to them once I pay for printing and everything else like that. And I'm already working actually on book 2. My artist is halfway done. So my goal is to hopefully keep finishing the story so that way the charity can have evergreen material. So that's my
there you go.
My channel's boring. I plan on Sundays. So if you guys have 2 hours and just want to watch me like plan out my week, you're welcome to join me. So there you go.
But Carol, you will be at the Southeast Game Exchange, right?
Yep, I'll be there. I think there's a panel that Marv and I are doing together that we were collaborating slideshows on yesterday.
Yes, we are.
Oh.
AKA, you finished all your slides, and I have not done mine yet.
Oh.
Is it the year 1995?
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Steve, are you saying that PowerPoint is not the way to go anymore?
Well, PowerPoint, no. I usually just do an exported PDF, to be honest.
I mean, I can do that too. I made it in Canva. But like the way I do like slideshow presentations is really bare minimum. So like when I sent it to Marv was like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. I was like, you don't have to. Just make your stuff. It's fine.
I just scribble things together in Microsoft Paint and create like 5 different images and then slowly try to find them in folders in front of everybody. I think it's a great idea.
That's because you're a genius. That's why.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, come see us. The Pro Show will have an audience for the very first time ever, like actually in-person audience. Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern at Southeast Game Exchange. We'll also be doing meet and greets with me and Wizard on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then all of your favorite friends will be there Saturday for meet and greets as well. We'll be showing off the game Zax, and we're ready to release that in full thereafter, including a special code that gives you bonus features as a member of the Pro channel. So all kinds of fun stuff, all kinds of exciting stuff. We can't wait to bring it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 11 minutes over. Apologies to the panel for doing so. And folks, it's time for Follow Bradley's Fun. The dish is where we wish you would stick around to. We're sending you over there right now. Have a great one. Have a good one.
Okay, here it. Caro. Oh, it's now time for us to go.
That's what you stopped the show for that?
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.
And yet, despite Steve's best efforts to throw the entire show off, folks, we have super chats. So let's get 2 more. Here we go. Maravita for $4.99. I had an interesting situation with Moana. The seats showed half the theater full when I bought my ticket, but only about 15 to 20 people were actually there. Conspiracy, you say? Well, not enough invisible people bought tickets anyway. DL Racer for $5. I would like to introduce my son to you, Steve. Steve, you're on screen again.
Yep.
He's a youth pastor, and he has an awesome YouTube channel. So, Steve?
Floral from under a rock at gmail.com.
One more time, Steve. Give the email address one more time.
Floral from under a rock at gmail.com.
And folks, for us, I got to say, we came back again, but you're off to the dish. That's it. We're done. It's over. See ya. Sayonara. What, Steve? What?
There's one more.
What? Another? There's not another super chat. Oh.
Well, man.
Ron tried to tell me what to do. Bad, Ron. Bad. Steve, I misunderstood you. You saved the day.
I tried.
It's the first time ever, Steve.
I do what I can.
After these messages,
We'll be right back.